Welcome back to the Adventures in Sylvanelle Campaign 5, What the Fae, the Odyssey of Chaos. This is episode 38, but this is also the finale. So wave to the cameras, my friends. We have Andrew, we have Scott, we have Erica, we have Tanner, and we have my boy Ben. Woo! We are all gathered here in the Fae, the Will of Asteri. We are on the mountain that is between Statue City and Sanjay's Impact. The party has just taken out the last of the primal influencers, gaining the fourth and final soul, primal soul needed to lock the ley lines. Unfortunately, they are also aware that they do not currently possess the power capacity in their individual elements to do that, so they need more time to do that. However, they did take out Zeph of Arendelle, the air primal influencer, before being met by a house that walked up on two legs. Oh, I should have brought the house that has the legs in Byron's room. I'm gonna bring it out after the break.
Okay.
House on two legs walks up the cliff, and we see a cozy cottage that walks up, sits itself down, and the door opens, and we see a face that is familiar and unfamiliar in some regard, by the name of Strigonona to some, and to others, the face of Crickle in the material plane, a ancient hag who opted to do the honey approach versus the vinegar, like her sister Baba Yaga. She invited you all into the house, and you all entered the house, and that is where we left off. As you enter the house, she gives you all a personal greeting. Ursine, she looks at you and says, "Oh, I hope your mother has been well." As Sharp walks in, she goes, "Ooh, you've been causing quite a fuss." Desiree walks in. "Oh, you've grown so much. It's so fun to see you." Sylvie walks in. "You've been busy, and we need to have a conversation. Whew, you've been up to a lot." And then, last but not least, Tidbit comes in and she looks at him. "Wow, I'm so old. Oh, hello, welcome. Welcome. Come in." And she closes the door. There are 5 seats, or 6 seats in this room. She takes one that looks just like it would be for her, and the other 5 seats, you can look at these chairs and tell which one is for you. They all have a you-ism about them. So you kind of just go in and grab a seat. As you all sit, these teacups kind of appear in front of you. She looks at Sharp, and she says, "Oh, there's oil in there. Don't worry. That'll be good for you." And you all have these teas. You can see that there is like a golden ring at the top of it, like on the cup, that kind of like shines and has this like magical effect to it. And it just makes you all feel warm. That was the kind of feeling you had when you first saw this house. It was like warm and inviting. And she sits there. She goes, "Whew, well, the Will of Asteri before my very eyes. Hello, hello. Oh, it's been so long. Is he? No, it's Summer Song now, right? He's god of time, correct?"
Allegedly.
Most
Time.
certainly.
Time is weird. Back in my day, he wasn't. But you know, as they say, time will tell, and it is all inevitable. But let me see. And she kind of sits there, and as you all start to sip your tea, she takes a sip. Melody brought you all together. Interesting. She's useful. Haven't heard from her in a while, but always out and about. And then I'm going to, just for the girlies at home, gonna throw up some images that are familiar to us. You saved Flora's stem from dark druids, freeing her power and absorbing it into yourself. Ah, very smart, Ursine. You were just what was needed, it seems. Sips her tea. And then, it seems you ran into quite a hot-headed fellow. No, just me? Okay. He was actually very nice, so I know he wasn't hot-headed, but he's hot in the middle. It's funny. Oh, okay. She sips her tea. But you handled that very well as well. He seemed very scary, but did not want to fight, and I applaud you for that, particularly with the ramifications of him, accidentally spelling an entire city of trained casters. So that could have been wibbly wobbly. Looks at Sylvie. Baba Yaga would have just killed them all. Crazy. Different strokes for different folks. I'm glad you didn't take after your gran. Oh, okay, that's good. And then she kind of holds her gaze on you. Oh, and we can't forget all the wealth of knowledge you hold, little Sylvie. You being the tribal influencer of ice, and also, have you shared with your friends the rest of your story, or is that tea?
I mean, I've shared most of my story, if not all of it.
Well, great, then. No secrets here. You being the primal influencer of ice, also the heir to the court of winter, and also a centaur. It's kind of weird, and I guess also the daughter of a hag, which is just crazy. Or son of a hag.
Not a centaur.
Yeah, centaur
So
is an
the
obvious
centaur
no.
thing I didn't mention, yeah.
Centaurs have 4 legs.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would believe me in
they have
that.
two.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
That's the part that's hard to believe?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
They've watched me summon demons. Of course they think I'm evil.
Yeah,
We
no.
pretty much guessed that.
Yeah, listen. Whatever you choose to believe is up to you. I'm just spitting facts here. All right. So, anyways, and then I saw, that was such a good fight. Oh, you were all so well. Sure, you came in, you took her out, and now you hold all this power. How do you feel? Do you feel lighter?
I felt lighter for a while. Once you shed the cheese, things get a little tricky. Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, I still need to get some dirt, but sure, the fight was good. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't worry, we have not left, so the dirt is as close as it was before. I do curious because nosy old lady, why the cheese suit? What was that all about?
Yeah, well, pretty cool. Well, as my friends here know, I screws up in silverware, and they don't really respond well to robots, nor was I at an age where I could really contemplate being myself. So I just used it to blend in and do a bunch of murders, side deals, hustles, drug smuggling, the things you do. So I'm kind of used to it. I kind of want it back. The name also is Sharp Shutterfield, so imagine being a big, like a metal, being like, I'm sharp. You cut yourself.
That's also not your name. You're still Null, too,
Sure, but I feel like not useful left languishing doesn't really describe this Warhol covered circle anymore.
Maybe.
Does Sharp Shutterfield have does it stand for something as well?
I wanted to attempt it, but no.
Oh, well,
Just
you just never know.
close.
Maybe next time I see you, there'll be a fun thing there. Just start, brainstorming. It's great. But you did very well. Oh,
Hey, thank you.
and the Fae has to thank you. And also, Ursan, you are not from here, and yet you defended this land like it was your own home. Ursan, I do know you are, one with nature, and a tree is a tree no matter what plane it's in. So I feel that's nice. But also, it's just nice that you did it. So thank you.
I was under the impression that if this place was lost, then the other plane was lost as well. So if that's not true, I was tricked into this.
Oh no, that's true. But you'd be surprised
Okay.
that people just don't care. They're like, whatever. So it's just lovely that you did it. Some people wouldn't. There are actually lots of people who wouldn't, or couldn't. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't do it. But you could do it, even if you didn't want to.
Yes.
History will show that you were the winners, and that's great, my friend. Oh, you also look more tired than I do, and there's no way as old as me. So, are you okay?
I have children.
Oh, I don't.
A lot
So
of them.
that does add up. They seem very tiring taking care of all those people. Looks over at Sylvie. Sometimes they don't die and they just live for hundreds of years, and you're just like, do they get smarter? Doesn't look like it. It's crazy.
Mm.
But no kids for me. I just observe.
Is that shade?
Yeah,
What?
that was shade.
I think it
No.
was shade. Also, why are
It
you
was
drinking out
shade.
of your handle?
I'm drinking. It's a big old cup of tea. Big old cup. Little lady, big
Looks
old
like
cup.
little teeny
Yeah,
joint
pass it. Pass it, Grandma.
Everyone has their own cups. And if you wanted to get high, you could just say, get me
Well,
high, and the cup would
Sip,
do it.
sip, pass.
Magic.
You know,
You
Oh.
have your own tea.
but you can also lick me to get high if you want to.
You don't ask it
Did you just
politely, you tell it
start
to
with
dip.
that? You can lick me and get high. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
Wink.
This
She
is
says
turning into something.
Sorry, I got wrapped up in it. It was, you know. Oh, well,
We have the touch.
I just wanted to thank you all. And not just in words. I come bearing gifts. If you don't know, I'm a gift giver. And if you know hags, typically there's like a catch. But luckily for you all, you've already saved the Fae, and so I am your reward. So each of you will be granted a boon of your choosing, whatever you would like. For saving the Fae, I can give you whatever you'd like. I can send you home. I could give you something. I could truly, it's up to your imagination and how good I am. Some people ask for crazy things, and it's like, where would you even get that? That's wild. Okay, but you know, since it's anything on your mind that you want for saving the Fae, by all means, let me know. And Ursine, yes, I can help you retire. Sharp, the dirt's so close, it'd just be weird to give you dirt when it's right there, so you don't have to ask for that. I can wait for you to get your dirt.
Okay.
Desiree, I don't really feel like you're on the trajectory of greatness, so like whatever you want, I could probably do. Sylvie, we can talk later. I'm not gonna say I'll do whatever you want because I know who raised you, and that's just gonna set me up for failure. So we can chat.
That's
Titbit,
fair.
whatever you need, I can also help with.
Anything?
It should be more than snacks, but yes, anything.
Okay.
Though I also can't give you the position of queen. That's like an elected title, so there's that as well.
Well, can it be something and then also snacks?
I can just give you snacks.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Okay. So who would like to go first? Does anyone know what they want from Granny? Little old Striganona. No strings attached, I promise.
Well, I guess I could go first. I mean,
Oh, yes.
if this journey and this adventure together and, saving the Fae and all has taught me anything, it's that I think I do finally know what I want out of, life and everything.
Oh, exciting. You're so young to know what you want out of life. I love that.
Well, along this journey, I have realized a little bit too that a part of my life was in my hands, but if I really need to do what I need to do to truly help save the Fae and what I love, that choice has already been made for me a little bit. So I think my wish is that I would like to pour the love and nurture back into the things that I love in the way that they poured it into me. I think I spent my whole life looking for approval from others and to be noticed and to have friends, and my family and the trees and nature and you guys that I've met are the ones that truly believed in me and finally made me feel noticed. So I think my only dream is that I can make you guys, feel a little bit more loved and nurtured so that you can accomplish your dreams the way you have helped me do mine. And, I might have a little bit of time left in between then and now that I could figure out what I want to do before I ultimately do have to, accept my true fate.
Oh, you are just the most precious thing I've ever seen. Oh, well, if I were a lesser woman, which I'm not, I would just give you that. But I will instead give you the story and then something else. My dear, you have done that. You have shepherded these randoms through the Fae, saved it, and mostly, not all because of you, but you played a very large part in it. You and your knowledge, your smut, your investment in nature itself, and even your own family. You went there, saved them, freed all of it. You are doing that. I just hope you realize that, and maybe you just need a little more time. So my gift to you is that, and simply more time. a tree you shall not turn into because you have better things to do. That curse has been lifted from you. Enjoy your new life.
Wow.
Wait, does this mean it's only been lifted from me, or it's been lifted, like for the generations to come?
Okay, well, no, I just did you, but that is a thing that we could work on. I think, well, that is a thing that you could work on now that you have more time if you want to free all of them.
I mean, that is something I have yet to research. I'm sure if I put some more knowledge and time behind that, maybe I could find a way to break this curse myself.
You don't know until you try.
Or maybe at least some other life force that can sustain. It's worth a shot. Thank you. And inherently, I guess I did get my wish granted. And I would like to thank, all of my friends here that I've made along the way. And I truly hope that even if my wish can't grant you your wishes, that I can at least help support you along the way.
It's very true. Also, you should say your goodbyes to them. You're gonna be leaving soon. Just so you know. Do you want to hug them or anything? I know you guys are all like emotional.
Oh yeah, why are you leaving soon? I'm confused.
They're all gonna be leaving, so you're not staying in my house. Jeez, I'm just giving you a gift. Gah!
Oh, I thought you meant specifically Desiree, Grandma. Be more
Very much.
specific.
It really
Well,
sounded
I'm
like
all-
she was just gonna poof.
I
Oh,
know.
she is.
Oh, we all are.
Yes, after you make your wish, after you get your wish, you leave. So, you got like 5 seconds left. Hug them quick.
We poof to our respective places, or we all poof somewhere together?
No, you're going back to wherever you came from before you came to
Guess
the
we'll
Fae.
find.
Or you can just leave. You can walk out. You don't have to poof. You're from here. You're not gonna go very far, I assume.
It's
You know.
Sharp, that don't make your wish, or at least make yours last then. I mean, it seems like you've gotten so close to your goal, and now if you make your wish, you'll just be poofed right out of here.
Oh yes, I'm gonna wait for him to come back. So no worries. Oh, she's leaving, y'all. She's vanishing. Oh, she's full.
Oh, I would give you a hug,
Bye.
but I'm
wait.
poisonous.
Just
Wait,
hug her.
Des, wait, she's just going invisible? It's just disappearing?
Yeah, she's like, it's a, imagine getting snapped, but like, it seems way more peaceful than that.
In true Desiree fashion, too, she didn't even get to hug or tell anybody goodbye. She spent her last moments worrying about somebody else getting what they wanted.
But yes, you do see Desiree starting to
Damn. Wow.
dissipate.
Can we touch her? I try to touch her.
She's gone.
I'm like, am I going through?
She's dying.
Yeah, if there's a
Yeah,
physical
I'm
part of her that you're
dying,
touching, she is,
tidbit.
but you can feel her like moving from under your hands. And you can see, like, you feel magic. You know that it is some sort of teleportation spell or more so a cancellation of a spell. A lot of you learned last time that you were reverse banished to be summoned to this place, and what her working is erasing that and sending you back to whence you came before this campaign started. And Desiree notices that as she is sucked back, and she sees herself kind of manifesting in the I know the name of this place that I made up. The Kingdom of Harmony, where you at the graduation, you see yourself just kind of standing outside. You were standing outside of a wall, spying on Orpheus as that door opened up behind you, and you see yourself like, whoa! You kind of manifest back in that alleyway as you kind of just stand there for a moment, figuring things out. And Desiree has moved on. Anybody else know what they want from Granny aside from Scott, who we know is going last?
I did also ensure Sharp that I would make sure that he got his dirt. So if I need to wait, then I will. I wish to keep to my word for that.
I'm also contractually obligated to help him with it, unfortunately.
Well, Tidbit's not, so I can ask. I was
Yes.
never too interested in dirt personally, but I have an ask that might be a bit of a reach, but I have a backup if that doesn't work. I was hoping that, just maybe you could give Tidbit absolute legal authority over the entire Fae.
Now we're talking.
I don't need to be elected if you just gave it to me, I think. But I understand that could be a lot, so I have a backup.
Let's just use the backup plan for funsies,
Can you destroy the concept of math?
What is math really? You know?
Well,
Was like it just gone?
when this seems like a very important journey that required a very skilled set of very talented individuals. But we never used math. It doesn't matter. We didn't need math to save the world or anything.
You're a funny little man. I don't know if
I'm a frog.
you're a funny little frog, not man.
Mhm.
There's math is a concept I'm unfamiliar with, but there's an order to things, surely. And if there were no order to things, then things would be more chaotic than they are now. Math may not be useful to you, but it may be useful to others. I can take math away from you if you don't want it.
Oh, I don't have it. They tried really hard in school, but it never. I actually did try once, but it didn't work. I tried to count the grapes that I was eating, but they kept disappearing. And
Your god, your patron is of time, and time is sort of like math.
what?
Yeah,
You could be the god of math, Tidbit.
math and time are kind of similar.
What do you?
And once you're the god of math, you could change it all.
What do you mean?
No one's offering him deity. Don't do that.
What?
No, nope, didn't say that one.
I don't
wish for it.
understand what you're saying to me right now.
Whew. Oh yeah, I forgot what it's like talking to like clerics and those who are more
Eh,
intuition based. It's just like logic, not there. It's crazy.
Tidbit, I think I understand what she's saying. If we got rid of math, which I admit is useless and also very difficult, look at the party members.
We
If
all
we
agree.
do that, time doesn't exist because they use it in time, and then your god will disappear. Stuff like that.
You'll
Well,
disappear.
it would just be a clock without numbers, right? It could still spin.
Right, but what are we
But
gonna say?
what if everything that you are made of is now spread out to every point where it could be or has been, and does that hurt?
This is like the one time you'll need this.
That hurt.
Um, oh no! So
It'll hurt a bit.
You can't get rid of math. So how about my first ask?
It's a fair question.
But it's not really a fair question, is it?
How about just like one law then? An absolute rule. And then I'm done.
There are people who like are in charge of that, and it's not me. I do like magical things. I bend reality to my will. You just want someone to write a thing down that people agree to. People don't fuck with me, so I don't know if they're gonna really listen to me. They would listen to you if you wanted to do something. Isn't your plan to become, queen or whatever?
But it might take a good bit of time.
Oh,
Why?
what
No
if you
one's dead.
what if you just wish everyone to vote for
Yeah.
you?
Oh, I
Yeah.
wish everybody just voted for me.
There you go.
I know that's
yeah,
not, morally great, but the benefits it'll yield far
It's the,
outweigh
it's the
the
least morally great thing that you've said thus far. So I'm okay with that. Everyone will know of Tidbit and that he's running for office and that he is the best choice. But also know people are dumb. Some people don't vote. It's crazy out here.
But that's okay.
Well, yeah, you just really need one person and no one else voting. And you know what? I'm not gonna give you any ideas. That sounds great. You are the top choice for whatever it is you run for next.
And also snacks.
If you turn around, there are snacks.
I feel like this is
They've
a
been
trick.
here the
and
whole
it's gonna be
time.
math.
You only got like 5 seconds to eat them tidbits.
Yeah, hurry!
Oh gosh.
Plot twist, it's math and snacks because there's multiple snacks, meaning math. But yes, you can eat those until you vanish, if you would like to. Oh, okay. Okay, so my friends with the dirt, like, that could be a whole thing. You really aren't gonna leave until he gets his dirt?
It's sort of a promise.
We gotta get it.
And I have a deal.
Contractual.
All right, well, I'm not going to get your dirt, so just don't
Oh,
track it in my
wait.
house.
Can't you just wish for the dirt?
That'll be a waste of a wish. We already talked
A
about this.
waste
You
of a
can, you
wish,
can.
yeah.
Well,
wait,
if that's
you can.
all he wants.
It's right there. I can see it through my window.
Well,
Okay.
we have
Can I go get it
limited
and
options.
come right back?
I said I'd wait for you, so you can do whatever you want. They also want to go with you or whatever.
Dust cloud as the door swings open.
You see,
gone.
Sharp levitates out of his seat and just flutes as he touches the primal soul of air for the first time, and air's all around him. And his speed is more than doubled as it hits 90, and he just starts moving. And he's Sharp. You get to the location of Sanji's impacts. You see that this place is a wasteland of organic material. There are trees, there are rocks and things, but they're all like in this weird state of like decay or petrification. There's something weird going on with them. There is this this like yellow crusted like substance that is on a lot of things that it looks like fungus. That is what looks like the fungus or the decay, is this yellow crusted substance that is on things. And you can see this on anything that you're smart enough to know that's on anything that is organic, and your brain goes back to that shard mind telling you that things that breathe and live in this place can't be here. And you see that there is a physical contagion that is here that is infecting living material. But you see the thing that caused the impact. The giant ship is still there. No one's ever touched it. It's there. It's kind of fucked up and old, but like it is still in pieces in there. The dirt is there. Like everything. It hasn't been touched since Sanjay left this place. And so you see that. It's just been, the only thing that's touched this place is time. But yeah. Are you looking for just dirt specifically? Do you want to, is there anything inside the ship you want?
I'm
You see the
probably
dirt
gonna
for the
open the
residents,
door
right?
to the ship because I imagine it walking around. I'm not gonna be able to find the right dirt here. Like, what if did the ship fly through space holding on dirt? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm gonna check inside to see if there's anything organic from Planet X-44.
Yeah. And that's what you need. The dirt you're looking for is not dirt from this place. You're looking for dirt that was on the ship, because that's the thing. Like in a plane ship where you do something that is from the place you're going to.
Right, a specific element from that realm that, if used with a machine, could tell you where in the universe it is, a trajectory.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes, you kind of wave your hand, and the door, the air seal comes, and it opens. There's no air seal. It's fucked up. It swings open, and it just like has the sound of like it not being opened in literally hundreds of years. And just you're ripping it apart as you walk inside of it. It is, it looks, it's old, but it looks, in your point of view, futuristic of the machinery you've seen. Like, this is just like something that's like, wow. You can tell that like Warforged have like some relation to this, but this is also like way out of the scope of what Warforged have done, and no one in the Fae has any, they're into like marble and sculpting things. There's no technology in this place. It's all like magical, and this is tech you see here. And you kind of move to that place. It's all, do you have a light source of anything? Or dark vision?
I have
Just so you can.
light.
Perfect. Casual light. These dice will come up. Give me an investigation check with advantage. You're doing the thing that you.
My investigation's good. It's a +10. That's a nat 20 +10.
Perfect. Oh, nat 20. Love that. So a casual 30. You kind of walk around this place, and you're kind of just like amazed at the tech you see. You kind of like see little references to things that you have seen in Van Greech, so you can see like the translation of how these machines, like whoever made Van Greech obviously had some attachment to this, which also you knew, but you're just seeing it now with your own eyes versus seeing stories about it. You're kind of like walking through this place. It's as you're inside of it, you're kind of small, but also this place is just like kind of big. The machines that walk through here were just like much larger than you, so you kind of like recognizing that, and you find your way to what looks like a uh probably formerly a power chamber. Nat 20 will tell you, you can tell it's definitely a power chamber. There's enough things that lead to this place. And you kind of get here and it's like a glass cylinder kind of in the middle of the room. It is cracked. It like pieces of it are missing, but it's mostly just cracked. And inside of that, you see there's something that is in there on the bottom of it. But the thing that you note most importantly is that that yellow crusted stuff is also in there. You see it forming around the thing that was inside of this glass chamber, just kind of crusted around there.
I'm gonna punch the glass.
Bam. You kind of pull out. It's like putty, like muddy putty. It's kind of like it's brownish green. It's kind of like if you were squeezing your hand, it kind of has that like. Doesn't
Gack.
just. I'm sorry, what?
Like Gak? Like that old Nickelodeon slime Gak toy thing?
I was like, I don't know what gag is. Yeah, just like that. Showing your age. Yes, it's like gag. It has like it's like kind of solid, kind of liquid. You kind of like squeeze it and you see that. I'm gonna just keep going with this nat 20 for a 30. The yellow crustedness is coming from this thing, but whatever this gack is, it is the source of the crust. And I think your brain machinery is kind of clicking, and you realize that this organic stuff, the yellow stuff that is growing on the thing is the stuff that like powers the ship. The stuff inside of it, the gack, is the thing you want to get back home. That is your GPS coordinates. But you're realizing that the yellow stuff is what powers it. So like they kind of work in tandem. And knowing what that Shardbind told you, you think that this ship is powered by turning organic matter into this yellow crusty thing that is the fuel source. So you know that Warforged are dealing with lots of things, but their whole thing was using organic material, living things or beings, and using that as their fuel source, which is why nothing could come close to this place. Anything that was living would get infected and start to turn into this entity, like almost like living fungus, just looking for its purpose. But there was no one there to throw it into a furnace and turn it into gas and make it the whole thing. But you realize you have the GAC and you now have the knowledge and also the thing if you want it to make the fuel to power this ship. But also, you don't need it to power. You're not trying to take this ship.
I'm
but if
putting
you are,
this stuff in a warhole, walking outside and fireballing the ship while I laugh and walk back to the house. I just wanted to get that stuff.
You hit it with a fireball, and the intention of destroying this, the wind whips up around that, and the fire stays right on top of that ship. It just superheats into the point where it just kind of slowly just starts to. You don't see it happening, but it just melts. As the door flies back open, Sharp is back in his seat.
Sorry about that.
Smooth like 5 minutes.
All right, that's gonna stay in the
Get your
warhole.
dirt.
Yeah, we are all good to go. All right,
Oh,
so
I
I
was
guess
just about to start.
yeah, you gotta think about your wish now.
Thank
What can I ask Tidbit? Oh, Tidbit's gone!
Tidbit is not there.
Your wish could be to ask Tidbit a question.
No, we'll just
It could
find
be.
him again.
Yeah, you know what? If one thing is happening, you all are being vanished. You would know where everyone came from. You've been together for weeks. You have exchanged like where you have come from. You know, 3 of them are from the Fae in the Fae. You also know Tibbet wants to be queen, so he has to go to where he's going to do that. So in your mind, you like he's not here, but you know where he is or where he will be if you wanted to find him. You know your biggest problem is if you leave the Fae, getting back to the Fae is not a thing that you had control over the first time. But
Right, that is the problem, and everyone I
Yeah, and
did
you also
business with.
absorb the Fae.
Yeah, well, at least
Yes,
some
sir.
wind of it. I'm basically a walking metal fart box. Um,
Yeah.
okay. Damn it. I was gonna use my wish for a British accent, but I'm gonna change it.
Oh, that's a good one though.
I know, which is why I'm pissed. But I didn't get to say goodbye.
Can I have kind of a two-parter?
This is my wish.
What a
Well,
three.
I'm thinking about mine though.
Right. Hey, this is my
Well,
moment.
I-
Spotlight.
Spotlight comes on.
It's his spot, like the dink.
I wish for a little bolt that whenever I activate it, I can teleport right where Tidbit is. And then to go the other way, I can go back to where I want to go. Like a teleporter thing that takes me where I want to go. Spotlight off.
That's a good one. Good one. Yeah.
So you want to be able to find your bestie, no matter where he is, but then also be able to leave your bestie wherever he's at when you want to go back.
Yeah, basically I
kind
want
of
a bolt
weird.
that teleports me anywhere I want.
It's like stalkery though.
Right!
Like,
You
can't you
get
just
it.
write them?
Huh?
Oh, hmm.
No, I would
You
never
know, you
dare.
do your.
Took a note from Desiree. Let's go.
And now, when you say bolt, are you thinking like bolt of lightning? Are you thinking like a bolt you try to have a crossbow? Are you thinking like I don't know?
Either one of those, like a
Oh,
bolt.
oh,
Or his hole.
oh. Sorry, you know bolt. Some
I
words.
understand.
Funny.
I know. We're not in Metal
Okay, yes.
Town. I get it.
Yeah, that's absolutely doable. You can give you a little modification that allows you to teleport to your friend shop, or I'm sorry, to your friend Tidbit, and then back when you're tired of him. Because I get it. Sure, yeah, okay.
Perfect. All right.
It's a-
5, 4.
You see a you see a etching starting to form on one of his clavicles as a shape of his choosing starts to appear, and he has a new button that appears on his shoulder.
And you see him wipe a little drop of oil from his eye. See you
Maybe a
later,
frog
friends.
head button.
Splendid.
Froggy.
See you.
He finally
I'll
said
know you.
friends and I wasn't there.
Joel.
I wrote it down.
Oh, that was
Shouldn't you have
so
written that down?
cute. Oh, I feel like he's grown so much. I didn't even know him. Oh, I love it. And
Yeah.
then there were two.
I guess
well-
you guys have to talk, so.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not that one. So what do you want, Assign? Oh yeah, well, I know what you want. You want to retire.
Well, yes. I do have a couple of questions before I
Oh.
want to make an informed wish.
Thank you for asking
can't-
questions and not for a bunch of wishes first.
Oh, splendid! Yeah,
Order of
you're
operation.
very welcome. You're very
Um,
welcome. You can or cannot change divine law.
Well, it depends on what. I think you see there's like a calculating in her head. I think on the word divine law, you see there's like she's questioning what divine law is as a being of her stature. So, what
I
are
want
you
to-
trying to?
I want to switch good and evil. Make them. This is. No, that's a. Not very good at joking. That's yes.
But
I'm
you're doing
sorry.
divine law. Oh, no,
It's a grandpa joke.
So I'm sure you know lots. It seems I'm
do.
sure you're aware of my situation in which I have frequent talks with a certain god of wisdom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, being above the board, yes. Your patron is Ogbook, goddess of wisdom, yes. You
Yes,
parented her through her ailments, as it were. Yes.
yes, but apparently it's illegal.
Yeah, is it illegal or does someone just not like it? You know?
I think someone just doesn't like it, and I'm not a big fan of that. And well, the retirement wouldn't really mean much if I couldn't spend that time with Agba. So
Well, I mean, hear me out. That I could be crazy. Don't you already talk to her?
yes, but I don't want her to get in trouble for it.
Has she gotten in
Long
trouble yet?
after, well, not yet, but long after I expire, who's to say that the god of time who lives then, now, and in the future doesn't take up issue with it at any given point?
And I think there's your answer there. If he is past, present, and future, you don't think he knows about your little secret?
I have no idea. I would just like security in that over anything else, really.
I can share a little secret of my own with you. Maybe this will calm you. As mentioned, me and Summer Song don't really know each other, but I do know time, a theory. And there's a funny little order of operations you recognize when you are an observer. Um, there was a time when gods, walked around the earth, and as you can imagine, they don't really care about, the things on the earth. It's kind of wibbly wobbly. Dragons attacking, wiping out whole nations. It was a whole thing. It was kind of bad. And Summer Song said he was just a guy, and he said, "Fuck that! I don't like it. You can't do that anymore." But also he was just a dude, so don't give a flying fuck. But then, fun fact, he was doing a mission with Melody. You know her. She brought him to the material plane. He met some weird lizards. I don't know. And became a god. And funny enough, he kept that energy of not wanting those gods to touch things. But there's also a little secret between time and time. That's funny because they're both the gods of time, but there was a time in which there was no god of time. So what's that about? It would seem that when Summer Song ascended, there was also two other deities that ascended at a very precarious time. One of those being the god of Hunt, who was actually with Summer Song in his little adventures foray into the material plane, traveling to divinehood. But then there's your little goddess Agba, and as history states, I've never heard of her before. But Summer Song became a god, and then, oh man, a whole new god appeared. Kind of seems like that guy's got an attachment to that girl. You picking up what I'm putting down? You and your blight teens, Summer Song and Agba? Eh? He brought her here. He did
Oh.
that. Yeah,
I see.
yes,
I see. Interesting.
He's broken his own rules. So if you tell on him, if he tells on you, then you can tell on him. And I don't think he'd do that.
I think I would tell on him to him, though.
Well, you see there's a pause. Let's not get into divine conspiracies. Actually, it's fine. I think that there's nothing to worry about when it comes to Agba. I think that there's a chance that there's a soft spot in Summer Song's heart for Agba. Had it been another god who was doing some fuck shit, like, you heard of Korog? He's crazy. It may have been a different thing, but I think he's... If I were giving my own opinion out of context, it would seem that Summer Song made a deal that, gods can't touch the earth, but also then brought someone over who he has some connection to, another newbie to join him. It can be lonely even when you're divine. So I think that they are, if not in cahoots, they are definitely connected. Time and wisdom are funny like that. And you kind of think back to when you touched Agba's book and you flash back through the lives of your past selves. You know that Agba has been subtly influencing you throughout your existence since the moment that you Ukak pushed her into this game, and you also have that knowledge that Striganona lacks. You know that the reason that Agba is here is because Ukak / you won that competition for Summer Song to be here, but you are realizing that no one else knows the context in which Agba came to be. I think that is you realize with your high wisdom that is probably the secret that is also being kept there of of that creation of a deity. It's wrapped up in, and it's very convoluted. But she's like, "Oh yeah, I think you're okay."
Then I think I have a wish with your blessing.
Oh, of course.
I would very much like to live out the rest of my days in peace. I'd like to spend them with Agba. I would like to add a Mai Tai. Tidbit got snacks. I would like a Mai Tai, please. And I feel like that's not much of a wish because I could just go out and live my days out in peace if I seeked that out myself. I would like, if ever Agba were to need me again or any help again, that she may call on me, and helping her is no chore. I'm happy to do it anytime. It's like breathing air, drinking water. That will be peace to me. I would like to add that into my peace.
I see why Agba picked you. You are quite the cultivator. I like that. I respect that. Peace is a funny and fickle thing when you are a person who is steeped in power, to say. There are the options that I have taken, and there are the options that my sister has taken. I've opted to not use my power and protect my peace. Unfortunately, that does mean I have to watch a lot of bad things happen around me that I just cannot get involved in, because once you do, you have to stay involved. My sister, on the other hand, decided that she wanted to get involved, and everything she does turns to shit. So, it's a double-edged sword there when it comes to what is peace, because you, my friend, have tapped into something very powerful, and I don't think, I don't think it's just going to go away, and I think you are also aware of that. I think that something I learned from your friend Tidbit is peace is often, and sadly, momentary. I think that if you're spending the time doing what you love, you can have lots of peace. But when you're as strong as you are and the world is always in danger as this one is, you may also be splitting your time as a warrior. Maybe not 50-50, maybe you're getting 80% relaxation and 20% rest. But there may come a time when the world needs you and you'll have to decide if you want to do it or not. And if that means you're still retired or not will always be up to you. That choice is yours, my friend. So for this, I will give you safe passage home, and I will trade this boon off to Agba that will allow you to use as you see fit with her at your own discretion. I see a lot of future in your future.
I hope
Most
not.
of it peaceful, but often you just never know. And you seem to be attached to things even bigger than yourself. And to that I respect, and also I give my sincerest condolences. It is hard being important. Look at Demina. She spent her whole life building the Fae only to be killed by it. Oh, tragic. But I'm sure she died happy, proud, and some may say retired. She wasn't retired. I'm just trying to make you feel better. Sorry, but she was very, very
Retired
chill.
now.
She delegated so much. Like she didn't really. She was just spinning tracks. So Wicked, it was great. I loved her tunes. But that is what I can offer you. A extension on your boon to allow you to use it when you and Agba see fit, and I will return with a favor of appropriate need. As I said, there's a lot of future for you, even if most of that is you doing nothing, which is nice. I spend most of my time doing nothing, and then, sometimes gotta go give people Christmas or critical, it's whatever. It's great. But thank you for this chat. Do you want to say bye to your friend? Looks over at Sylvie.
See ya.
Bye, Earthsign. You're gonna come back, right?
God, no.
Come on.
The Mai Tai. Don't forget the Mai Tai. Please, the Mai Tai.
As you start to turn to
On
roots,
my
you
side.
kind of shrink down, and you find yourself standing back in. I've got an image for you.
There should be 3 chairs around me. Yes.
The place in which you left. You stand there, 3 chairs in front of you, and a Mai Tai on the dais in front of you. You go and you grab that drink. Your blights are with you. They were in those chairs previously, and they came to get you. You see now they are bigger, they are more powerful, they are now blightines. And as you sip that drink, you see the hum of magic going through this sigil in front of you, the one you could not get to work last time because you have enough power. You turn to see your 3 blights sitting in those chairs with their hands up, drinking mocktails, which is just making the hand motion of a glass and like drinking it. Very much what I've been doing. They're just drinking this nothingness as they sit in these chairs, power flowing through them as this sigil lights up. It starts to sink down, sink down. It becomes flat. The ground kind of flattens out, and it starts to separate and open up. And then you see which I don't think you are familiar with, but you see a ornate wooden chest kind of rise up out of the ground, and it sits there for a second, and then it shudders, and it kind of blows up into like this large wardrobe of magical enchantments. In front of you is a ancient object known to those of the old world as Komapa, rebuilt and refertilized by the unholy trinity. Left here to be this is the hoard of their wealth. Like this place, the labyrinth was supposed to be a hoard of the unholy trinity's wealth. And you see Komapa sitting before you. You know that Komapa historically was rumored to be a magical item creature that the unholy trinity used kind of always. Like it was like always a thing that they went to even before they were the unholy trinity, back when they were in school. There's stories of that and then it just made it to this point. But the chaos doesn't stop there. As Komapa kind of sets up into that wardrobe, the walls around you start to light up as the energy goes through the ground into the walls, starts to light up, and they become almost glass. Like it was originally this like stone walls around you with etchings in it, and they become almost glass as you can see all of Penelope's sentient flora around you, and you feel this connection to it as you stand there, the primal influencer of Earth, but also in the horde of the unholy trinity. But also you realize in this moment, as it's been activated, it's not just the horde of the unholy trinity, it is the power center of the unholy trinity. This is where they held operations, and it didn't make sense before. How did they watch everything and be like, how did they do all that inside of a labyrinth that can't see out of it? Made no sense until this moment, as it all turns to glass. The dice in front of you reforms and comes up, and there is a miniature version of the Penelope sentient flora, very a la Spy Kids when they get on that island, and it's like, oh, we got these miniatures of the thing, and then it's the big things upstairs. Kind of gives that vibe of you're seeing this like hologram of the Penelope sentient flora, and then around you see the actual Penelope's sentient flora. And you kind of stare at it and you're like, that's so interesting. And the blights kind of move towards it and they start to like examine it, and they like touch a part of it. And as they poke the hologram, you see one of the trees kind of shake. And you realize that this is how they did the thing. This place is a power center for this place is a power center for, or was a power center for the Unholy Trinity and Penelope Sentient Flora. Though they did not do anything. They were not a aggressive force. They were a very protective force. A lot of it was used to confuse and deter. They didn't want to hurt people. They wanted to protect the food folk and the flora that became to live here. And you kind of see this is how they did it. It's a lot of questions in your brain of like things that just like you just assumed it was nature taking care of itself. You're like, oh well, Penny was part of nature. And you also know that she was here at some point after the Unholy Trinity, because she lived for like hundreds of years after the other two members died. But All that happens to you as you're kind of sitting there drinking your Mai Tai. You're like watching all this. You're like, wow, retirement. And we are back to our friend Sylvie, who is sitting on a couch. And the answer to your "can I have a two-part" question is depends on what the two parts are, she says. Oh, you're muted. The sassy's head is moving, and I was like,
Yeah, no, you picked up. So, the two-parter. I'm going to start with the second part, because if that can't happen, then, it's going to change the course of questioning for my main wish, or boon thing, whatever this is I'm doing. So, second part, can you transport me anywhere? Can I pick where I would like to end up once out of here? Or is it just back to where I started?
the real answer is it's easier to send you back where you started, but I could, in theory, send you somewhere else. Yes.
Would you?
Where are you trying to go?
I mean, I'm just trying to get to whatever place I need to go to be like, hi, I'm ready for my throne. The court of winter is mine. Mostly where I can do that is where I'd just like to be sent after I ask for this.
Oh, I mean, the answer to that would be you need to go to the people in charge of the acapella. That would be the Kingdom of Harmony, where they all gather.
Yeah, just shoot me there after this.
You're all really obsessed with that frog, aren't you? Okay, sure.
It's not the frog. I mean, it's partially the frog, but it's mostly me.
Mm-hmm. And what do you want for you?
Yes. So I'm going to start with the heavy questions because you might tell me no. Can you just murder my mother?
I could, but why would I?
I'm asking. It's my wish.
You mean just kill my family? That's crazy.
You strike me as a hag that might have done it before.
Looks around at all her like soft girl energy. She's like, me?
Yeah,
No.
you.
I'm a gift giver, not a life taker. That's the Baba the Yaga. That's her thing. And she would definitely kill her own kid, for sure.
Well, yeah, but like,
But if I
she's not
kill
in front
her,
of
then
me to
like
ask.
then I've killed a hag, and then like the other hags are mad because again, I'm technically retired.
Well,
But if I
who
start,
says you have to be the one to kill her?
you just said that.
I mean, I was wishing for you to arrange it and make
Well,
it happen. It doesn't necessarily have to be you.
I love that everyone thinks I'm like this ominous power. I'm a very powerful witch with a very distinct signature. If I do something, they'll know that I did it because typically I want people to
Okay.
know that I did it because then
No laws, no death.
yes. See how I started with I can teleport you back home. You jumped to murder, but yes, yes.
I didn't jump to murder. I jumped to murder request. I didn't do it. Which
It would
leads
be
me
easier
to
to just
my
do.
my actual request since I can't get that one. Can you just like unlock my ice power for me to like its full potential so I don't have to do the whole rigmarole of getting used to it? I'm just used to it.
Well, where's the fun in that? What if you cannot control this power?
What if I have things to do quickly?
Wouldn't this power help you? Waging
Yeah,
wars against
immensely.
ice devils would be great, but if you can't control it, would it be so great?
Well, wouldn't the control just come with you unlocking it?
If I just gave you 9th level spells, would you just know how to use them?
I hate logical bitches. I mean witches.
I'm both, thank you. Duality of self.
All right. Well then, can you bring Yumi to the real world and have them be able to stay here?
You mean to free a devil?
Not free a devil. I still have his coin, but just bring him to the material world.
If he's staying here, he's freed. Otherwise, he's
In your
not.
technicality, not mine.
No, I'm telling you, if I bring him here and he's not returning home, that means he'll be freed. Your coin be damned. He'll just be free.
Then
Your
I'm
power
not
over him is
there.
attached to your is attached to your coin, which is attached to him being stuck in hell because of his unique relationship with Tiamati.
I mean, at this point, just ask for a bicycle.
Right? You're shooting down everything, Santa lady.
I saved you for last for a reason. I can smell the evil on you, and I expected it.
None of those
so
requests were
difficult.
evil.
Murder.
Freeing devils? None of those sound evil to you, which is also why I saved you for last, because I didn't think you'd think it was
It's
evil.
objectively
You're a
evil.
spawn of Baba Yaga. I know my kin, okay? You may be a great-great-grand, but bitch, you're a great-great-grand.
I understand.
Also, if you want to kill your mother, just do it. You don't need me to get involved. And also, you
No,
would
but I
rather
need the
do it
power
yourself.
to do it, and you won't even unlock that for me without
Because you
not
already
having
have
control.
it. I thought you were supposed to be a prodigy. You sound lazy to me.
Efficient, not lazy. Note the difference.
If you want to start a war with a woman who's been planning something for hundreds of years, you may want to spend some time not rushing into battle. Just, a little thing I've learned in my hundreds of years of being alive. And you're 19, correct? Yes. I may have a year or two on you.
Beside the point, hundreds of years old.
I've just seen a thing or two. I've seen gods die. I'm just saying.
Well, after watching me, do you have any recommendations for what I should do?
Oh, I do. Do you want them?
I would love to hear them.
Of course. I heard you have some sisters.
Many, apparently. Mother's a
And they all-
whore.
And they all hate the same person?
I think we unanimously hate her, yeah.
Interesting. That seems like a useful a thing there. And I also heard you were a centaur. And last I heard, the centaurs were spelled. If only there was someone who could break a spell.
Yeah, but I like my cute fairy body.
I'm not talking about on you,
Oh.
selfish narcissist. I'm talking about on the centaur. Do you want more warriors or not? They currently are slaves to your mother, but if you free them, they won't be. If you want a fighter, take away all her little toys.
And they'll still have their power?
They'll still be people. They're not powerful. They're thralls. They have numbers. That's what that she gives them. She would kill them in a second, but
Yes, we could bring the centaurs back. It's not quite what I was wanting, but minions are always good.
It just so you know, this will not be, to clarify what you're aiming to do here, because your machinations seem just a little skewed. This is not a battle you're starting. You realize that you're going to war with a hag who has been alive much longer than you, and to my knowledge has ripped hell into this plane. So again, you probably shouldn't take it lightly if you're going to go and tussle with mommy.
That's why I'm maintaining my position of the Court of Winter. Before doing that, I have to gain the power she's not capable of gaining in order to hang it over a hag's head.
And I'm teaching you how to take that power that your mother has stolen from you.
I just didn't necessarily want to go the long route, you understand? But now that we're both at an understanding that we can't speed it up.
Little Yagas, I love you.
You know how we work.
Yes, you burn out so quickly.
Yeah, I guess I'll wish for the centaurs to be brought back to centaurians.
Well, look, at least now you'll be the queen of something, because a court with no followers is kind of weird. But now, you'll have that. So that's good. I can do that.
True. Okay. So, but like, are they just gonna pop? They might get murdered if they just pop up in the Court of Winter.
They're in the Court of Winter. They are centaurs in the Court of Winter. They're still themselves. They're not all fairies. You're just a fairy.
I'll trust them to get their own shit done, and I'll arrive. Let's do it.
Perhaps hear this. When you're ready to wage your war on your mother, your centaurs will be. That is when the centaurs will awaken to their natural state, and not before. Since before that, they'd surely get killed, and you have no one to help you.
Yeah. You see my logic there? Yeah.
So once you're ready to start your war with your sisters and you arrive, upon gazing on you, they will be removed of this disillusion that they are, or whatever they are. They'll be freed.
Cute. I like that. I didn't think I'd like this, but I like it.
They are your actual family, so no.
Maybe that's why. Okay. Well, thanks. Whatever great amount of aunt you are to me.
You can just call me Striganona.
Sure.
Thank you. And anything else for you? Are you good?
Oh, the second part. Yeah, put me.
Oh, what was the second part? Oh, yes, you went to go to.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, also, it's game vomiting right over there. I can teleport you. You could
Did
also
you not
spawn.
hear my lazy line of questioning 5 minutes ago? You think I'm
I
gonna fly
did.
over there? Just do it. Just do
I was
it.
hoping you were a quick learner, but fortunately not. Okay.
Nope.
Well, it was great seeing you, great grand. It wasn't actually, but I'm glad you all saved the Fae. That would have been
Yeah.
really annoying to have to move. Also, I wasn't gonna leave, so I was just gonna die here. So it's great that I didn't have to do that. Um,
You're welcome.
Yaga left. She just ran off, took her kids and left. Little bitch. I had faith.
In
No, I
her?
didn't. No, I'm lying to you. I was just
Yeah.
really hoping it'd work out. I think
Well,
Summer
it did
Song has
for us.
been. I mean, yeah, no, it worked out for the Fae, which is what I want. It's hard, being pro Fae when the Fae itself is not always pro Fae. They're like, well, I'm from this court, I'm from that court. Whatever, it's all Fae. Fuck.
That's also how I feel about it.
And guess what? You have to be in charge of that now. So have fun dealing with people and their opinions. Ugh, it's crazy.
If you
Ash,
care,
Ash
care,
sips her tea.
care. As I drift away.
Yours is kind of you turn to ice and you kind of like melt into snow. And as that happens, I'm jumping back up to my boy Andrew. Um, we find you in this. We find you in the center of this place. You have these wild machinations about, or realizations about what is going on in the world, and you feel this energy pulsing inside of you. Over the next week, what is Ursine's plans? As what is he spending the next week doing? You know that you have your own personal retirement going on, but also you're aiming to cultivate this power inside of you as well, which you just know is by using it in over and over again in various kinds of ways. And you just happen to find yourself in the middle of a big ass forest. But yes, what do you spend this next week doing as you cultivate this power inside of you?
I think I am good. Yeah, I will be spending my time here. Probably just speaking with the plants, seeing if there's anything that needs to be done that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Really just taking care of the area around me as much as possible. And I guess not necessarily attempting to like create a rapport, but like kind of just trying to make friends with the plants and the animals around.
Nice. This manifests pretty easily for you. You spend a lot of your times physically in this maze, in the center of it, because you know that you can. It is already powerful, and you are powerful. So together, you're able to just amplify that innate uh, funk that you got going on. So you can like use your commune with nature, and it gets enhanced because you're in this place, and so you're able to essentially, while rooted here, you can mostly like you're processing like all these plants requests simultaneously, like they're all talking to you as if you are like in the roots, and you can just like you're hearing them all like coming through your brain, and you're just like processing it. And your blight teens are the ones who are actually like out and about like doing things. You're like triaging, sending one to do this, one to do that, like, whatever needs to be done, while also you like the physical labor of things, while also you are able to enrich certain areas, or you can like any like anything that's not like a physical task in need, like oh there's like this hurts or whatever, like there's like physical changes that happen, you're able to do that from your location, with between your power and this the the hologram thing going on, and so you're able to mitigate the entirety of Penelope's sentient flora from this location, and you were able to do that. I need at this time for Scott, Erica, and Tanner to deafen themselves, please. And I'll wave back to you. I need you here.
I'm gonna have to take off my headphones so that the viewers can still hear.
Take off those headphones, Scott. Oh, now we can see your hair.
Yes.
And then boom. Ken, are you deaf? Can you hear me? Great. As you cultivate this energy, and Ben, you're here because you do not hold a primal soul inside of you, but you are aiming uh, to be the heart, as I always call you, or as I call the person who didn't get power. It's the Captain Planet kind of thing. So you're privy to hear this since you can't affect it otherwise.
Fantastic.
Andrew, as you spend this week cultivating this energy inside you, it comes up rampantly, and you find yourself in a moment of, it's kind of like on that last day, on the seventh day, he did not rest. He realized that he was evolving. The power inside of you, the primal soul, hits 100% as you are in this place working the lands, and you realize you are faced with an option now. You can, from where you are, you have the options to seal the elemental earth ley line. So just like stopping, because it's a doorway currently, so you can seal it, lock it, so nothing else can pass through it, nothing else can come through it, and the Court of Autumn as it is will stay normal. You also have the option of opening the door up, and you know that now there is no primal influence, there's no primordial prince on the other side. They are a physical plane of existence, and their representative, their child, has been destroyed. You can open up this doorway, and that would allow your court to grow. That would increase the size and virility of the Court of Autumn, the one you are attached to. That is your second option. Your third option is keeping the power to yourself and using it in whatever way you see fit, until the end of your life, as it were. So locking the door, opening the door, or keeping the key for yourself are the three options presented to Earthsign.
I would probably talk to Ogba about this a little bit if I could.
Yeah.
And I don't really think that he would keep the power for himself. And I don't really see a reason to keep it closed unless it's throwing like balance out the window. So if that is a risk, then I think like I believe that like natural balance is very important.
And I will answer this from an Ogba perspective. When it comes to containing the power, you find, I'll answer this from a two-person perspective, I guess. You're in a weird position because while connected to Ogba, you're also connected to these Blight Teens, which are this part of you, but also a part of Ogba, also part of the Earth. So there's this weird idea, particularly when knowing that like the Fungal Mother operated via proxy through the Fungal Prince. Like you've already seen this idea of like someone else can do the job for you while someone else holds the power. So there's this idea of like it doesn't have to be all you. So you do think that instead of yourself taking the power on, that you could divvy it up between your blights, and they could hold the power and be the representatives of the court, kind of like a Court of Summer have like a triple-headed entity, or they could rotate. It's really up to that. Is up to you, but you can like essentially divvy the power up to all three of them, or you can make them one person if you want to, because that is also an option. But you could give the power to them is an option. When it comes to opening the door, you don't think that would temporarily disrupt the balance, but you don't think it would like it's not going to destroy other courts, but it would expand that court. The thing that this is such a layered thing. I'll start with you, and it's kind of crazy. The thing you also know is that of the Court of Summer, it's got that weird vibe with the Fungal Mother and the Fungal Prince. They're like not the nicest of
Yeah,
people.
I was just thinking, like, if I recall correctly, the Court of Autumn kind of fucking suck. Like, it really sucked there.
But you know that's because the Court of Autumn is intrinsically tied to the Fungal Mother.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to put your pussy into it, you run a court. You run a court right now. Essentially, you're running this force. You think that you could, what's the best word? Terraform the Court of Autumn into a more earth sign representation of nature. So moving it out of this fungal thing into a forest, or into a like something that is a different aspect of it. The options are typically like rock, fungus, or trees. And we know you're a tree guy, so like you could turn this place into a like forest of sorts if you wanted to, and evict the the fungal mother, and that would come into to do that aspect to kick her out. You would need someone here. You would have to either open the door or put the power into your blight / yourself, so you can like just kick him out. But that is an option you see before you. You could terraform that place.
I think that the best like dramatic storytelling choice that I can choose is instilling that power into my blights, because then I still don't need to take on like mass amounts of responsibilities. I can still like retire and die, and I'll just do my absolute best to spend the rest of my days forming my blights to be the best versions of themselves they can be, and help the world and nature to the best of their abilities, and helping form their connection between themselves and the Agba and life.
Perfect. And just for clarification, does that include removing the fungal mother from power?
I don't know if I would necessarily remove the fungal mother from power, because there's a lot of death, decay, but from that there is nutrients. It's part of a cycle. So
offering a
maybe
balance
just
force, though.
just keeping that in check.
Okay. So I would say moving the court of summer, moving the court of autumn from full fungi to a mix of fungi and overgrowth. So it's got a representational balance there. So there are trees
There needs to be a cycle. It can't just be just overtly death or overtly life. There needs to be balance.
Okay, I like the word cycle. So we're hitting like it changes from it has the light moments and the dark moments. So it's going from overgrowth to that is the balance you're seeing versus like
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got write it down. And it's funny because redwood trees are the ones that kind of work like mycelium. They can communicate through branches and like that kind of relationship. So I think that is the vibe we're gonna go for with that forest, like a redwood forest energy. Perfect. Thank you, my friend. You will not have to be deafened to this next part because you can't change your answer now. All right. So bring your ears back, my friends. Bring your ears back. Bring your ears back. Bring your ears back. Come back. Come back. Tanner, look up. Tanner, look up. Tanner, look up. Yeah.
It's we were calling you names. We were calling each of you names. There was nothing happening at all. Nothing character-wise.
There was
We were
so
just
much
saying mean
shade
things about you.
flying. It was so rude, y'all. I wasn't allowed to talk.
Sorry.
How dare
All
you?
about to give you.
How dare you?
Okay. I brought you all back. I'm gonna kick two of you out again. So sorry, but I do want you to know that. Ursign has finished his moment, and we're gonna move. I'm just gonna go down the line that I see. So Sharp will be next, and so Erica and Tanner, goodbye. But I love you. And Andrew will be staying to listen this time. Because he's bathroom. Because he has done his thing, and Andrew Ben is here because he can affect these things. But where did we leave you off at? You were we didn't actually you flew in and you teleported up. We didn't actually see where you went. You end up back at the inn. It's not called the food court. Oh my god. Back in Silverware. I was like, what is that place called? You end up back in Silverware. You are not in the burnt down house, but you're outside of where you were when you got slapped up out of the spell going sideways the second time.
Gotcha.
But you kind of find yourself back in Silverware, and you are you've for the first time used that power inside of you that you've tapped into that the air influencer in you, and you know that scale needs to be increased. You are spending the next week of your time doing whatever you want, but the thing that's happening in the background is you're accruing this power. So what do we find you doing in that first week back in the material plane? Powerful. You are Sharp Cheddarfield / parentheses null. Where do you go? What do you do?
I'm walking to Van Greech. Not flying, not teleporting.
What?
I am walking so I can spend days and days and days and days and days as happy as I can be because they know I'm coming. And also
Yeah,
excited to be alone for once.
alone, but you feel so surrounded because air is everywhere around you. You feel it's hard to not feel at home in the air. You kind of like think about that. You're like, man, air's literally everywhere. Like that's crazy. And you think about Zeph, her way she flew around. She was like so empowered. She was she was cheating because air is everywhere. You just like you're aware of like how much power she was funneling into you, or how much power she was channeling, and you feel that kind of funneling into you as the days walk by. You find it. You're walking through the desert, but you're not hot. It's just like the air is taking care of you. The sun is just like it can't get to you. This everything you. It's all just a peaceful journey, though you are a small metal robot, literally walking days and days and days through the desert. Um, there is this. I think your brain is always that high intelligence. Your brain's always just cooking, looking for the ways to optimize things. And I think that your air is kind of like your power is working in that way, like a program running in the background. Everything's making you move faster, making you cooler. Like it's just doing all these things without you having to think about it. And the night before you get to Van Greech, you feel this overwhelming power as you know in all of your holes simultaneously that you are at 100% and you find yourself having to make a choice. And there are three options here for you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Option one, you can seal the ley line the air ley line that you're attached to that is currently in the Twizzanella Twirls. That would lock the door and it would keep everything the way it is. You know that the primordial prince that was on the other side of that door no longer exists, and now they are just the elemental plane of air. And you know that the person that they sent to be the combatant is also deceased because you killed them. So you have the option to lock that door and leave the court of spring the way it is. You have the option to unlock that door and empower the court of spring, allowing it to grow and empowering those of its residents there. And they would just the door would open. The court itself, that section of the court would expand geographically. That's you don't live there, so I guess that's the last part of that. And then the third option is keeping the power to yourself and using it how you see fit until the day you die.
I'll lock the door.
Lock the door.
Yeah.
You kind of like this. This power has been building up inside of you, and you decide, like Oh, also, and in case this changes your opinion, locking the door, you lose the power. You're using the power to lock the door, and that locks the power away as well. Okay. You sit there
have the
and
button to go to Tidbit.
oh yeah, you good. You sit there and you're looking at Van Greech in the night. You can still see it. You have all that power building inside of you, and you just feel confident and mature, and you just decide to let it go. You're like, I don't need all this extra power. I've got what I want, and you can feel that power lock away inside of you as the Twizzanella Twirls also locks, keeping that court exactly where it is. Do you end up using your button before you go to Van Greech, or is that an after Van Greech kind of thing?
It's an after Van Greech kind of thing.
I'll tickle you later then. Perfect. We'll let Erica stay in the bathroom. I'm gonna hop over to Tanner if I can get his attention. Wah, wah, wah. Whoever comes back first, actually now. Look up.
Text him.
Look up. That was so much faster than our son's. I was like, oh, hello.
Oh,
That was much quicker. And Scott, you don't have to. You don't have to mute. You don't have to deafen yourself if you don't want to, but you're welcome to mute yourself if you don't. But you're welcome to hear anything.
Okay.
Oh my girly. Okay, so Sylvie. Oh no, we find you. You teleported to the Kingdom of Harmony. You were teleported to the Kingdom of Harmony because you wanted to claim your seat on the acapella for the Court of Winter. Perfect. this is a political campaign that you are now embarking on. You have the pros of Ursine. Oh my god, just making up names over here. You have the pros of Tidbit being present and also being from like he is someone who can speak, he can vouch for you. Like there's someone here who's like of legitimacy, who's like, oh yeah, like I know this person and not just some random ass person who's like so that will streamline your the paperwork of it. Coupled with your charisma, it will be kind of easy. And also it's the truth. And there's no one really arguing that with you. But during this week of time, as you're putting on the daytime energy, is you're putting on this political campaign. You're trying to figure out what it means to hold this court. You're also secretly plotting this war against your mom. And you have a week of time before you know that this vote will happen to put you into the acapella. You're under the impression that it's a shoo-in. Like you're running unopposed, and it's like this is just the paper. This like the monotony of you just have to do these parts. Yeah.
Yeah, procedure we gotta do. Yeah.
Yes, this is procedure. Sorry, I was like, there was a word for it. But you also know that during this week of time, you need to accrue this power inside of you, and you don't have very far to go. You've been using it a lot. So how do you spend the next couple of days tuning up that power, that thing you just didn't want to do? How do you spend that time tuning up your power?
Yeah, I mean, why not do battle simulation and summon a devil that I have to go up against to hone my power better? Make it, I feel like that would be a good route to go with it. That's how I know to get things done with hands. So I feel like, and experimenting with it that way. And then when not doing that, just kind of like focusing on this new magic, what this magic feels like, and what it feels like to really embody it, be it.
Yeah. Are you still in this place of mixing fire and ice, or have you settled on ice? Where are you at in your power set?
I enjoy the mixture.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's fun. I mean, a flame so hot it's cold,
Perfect. And are you summoning rando devils? Or are you bringing Yumi to do sparring with you?
Yumi for sparring for the most part, but also random devils. I don't care as much about them, but like if I feel like I need conversational points, that's when I would bring Yumi in and be like,
yeah. And you also know that there's a different way that you have to fight Yumi. When you fight other devils and demons, it's like you have the element of surprise. They don't really know what you can do. Yumi has fought with you and against you, so he like knows what you can do. So it takes like an extra level of thought to be like, I can't do that.
Really on my shit with
It's the anime moment where you're like, I'm really cool if no one knows my secret technique, but this guy for sure knows my secret technique, and he's doing everything he can which is making you like
think and react differently. Yeah.
And so you have those first couple of fights with your the first couple of nights of fighting with your devils and your demons that aren't Yumi, and it's like child's play. You kind of bring them up, and you're trying to challenge yourself. You're bringing out in waves and hordes of them, and you're like, it's hand waving. You're like freezing whole landscapes. You're taking this training out of the Kingdom of Harmony to the waters right behind it where Armwall sits. And so you're like in the water, whipping it up into ice and like making a battlefield to fight these things all on, while also having the perfect view of the thing that you want the most, the Court of Winter, that's you can't touch because it's protected by your mother's magic. That because there's layers of spells here. You've released the centaur from her thrall, or that will happen rather when you see them. But that weird storm stuff is from your mother. You have to kill her to do it. But you think you have the power. While you hold this power, you can walk through storm. Like ice will not stop you. So you think if you have your sisters and whatever other army members you bring with you, if they are with you, then the storm will not affect them, which would be a perfect surprise attack for mommies. But you were able to do all that, and then you get into this fight with Yumi, and you were having this you're sweating. It's like, oh my, like I'm actually like putting my
I'm
pussy into this.
working.
Like and then you get it, and there's a moment where like he pins you, and he thinks he's gonna win, but then you like slap him with a ice blast, and it kind of like knocks him off his toes as you faint that moment. But then you realize how much force was in that ice as you rock him, and you feel as that kind of connects. He's like, I thought we were just training, but you feel yourself reaching max capacity 100% as you are faced with some new fun options. In
Oh.
in the time this has been going on, nothing has happened. You're in the Fae, and you know that like nothing has truly changed in the landscape or energies wise. You can feel that other people are having the same moment because you can feel the power moving and waning. It's not just increasing. People are doing things with this power in such ways that it is like affecting how much power they have. So either they're giving it away or they're putting it somewhere. So things are happening there, and you find yourself faced with a question, a choice rather. As you reach max capacity, you stand there in this sparring on this ice sparring with your homie and devil Yumi. You have the option to either A, lock the doors of the Court of Winter, lock the ley line in the Court of Winter, thus keeping it basically exactly where it is. On the other side of that door, there is not a primordial prince, primordial prince. There's not a primordial prince on the other side of that. They are just now the elemental plane of their representative element, and then you also know that there is no primal influencer here because you are them slash. I guess in this case there is a primal influencer here, but it's you, and then Christ is an on-wall who also is not that far now. But there's no one here to like combat you. You are the person who's supposed to be doing it, so you have that power. So you can either lock the door, keep the court where it is. You can unlock the door and let the power flood. You know that it would, or you think that it would expand the court and the power of its residents, thus expanding its influence. Or option 3, you can keep that power to yourself until the day you die.
Yeah. I feel like there's a couple ways I could go with this one.
Mm-hmm. And Yumi is here to talk you he can talk with you if you need to like have someone to be like, well, this be an idea. He is here to offer you some.
Yeah, because
feedback.
part of me is like definitely curious in the fact that I'm like, if I really unlocked this shit, like how would it spread? Which court would it spread onto? Would that be a good thing? Would it be a good thing for me?
In that regard, you know that the court of or the Fae itself has been shrinking technically since Incantica, and like it got like when part of it got ripped off, and so it has been getting smaller. You don't think that expanding your court will affect other courts outside of the fact that it will give you more power, but you do think it would grow the Fae. Like your court would get bigger, but it would not encompass other things. It would just give you technically more Senate seats is the vibe. Like you just have more people who could come from there. The problem that you realize is that there is no order in the Court of Winter, and the person who is there is not necessarily on your side. So you weigh those options, but
yeah. I think I'm gonna unlock it.
You wanna unlock it?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna unlock it.
Okay. You hit Yumi right in the. You kind of feel that power bursting through. You feel it running through your hands. You see the Court of Winter right in front of you, and you want it bad. You reach out for it, and it reaches back, and you see the ice that is you made the water around you ice, like so you made to stand on. You see it in front of you, that wintry place, that there's that chaos in front of you. It's forbidden and frozen wasteland. Words are hard. It just you watch it expand. The snow, the ice, and just kind of you just watch land mass form in front of you. Not pretty, not like truly anything yet, but it is becoming something. It is ice rising out of the sea. It is the sea turning to ice as it is expanding, not towards you, but just out and like in an expanse. You know that the Rocky K is expanding both left and right. It is widening. The thing that you
Beautiful.
find most interesting is that while the court of winter expands, the blizzard that covers it does not. It only stays on the part that it was originally on.
I
And
was
you
wondering if
find
that would happen.
and you see that there is more land on there. There is a blizzard happening in the center of it, but to the left and right, there is currently unclaimed and new icy formations of land that exist there. Real cute, real kinky. And you feel that power in you kind of like dissipate and kind of warm up a little bit as it moves back into your natural state of being and fire. There's still some of that connection there for you, but you know that you've lost a lot of it in this explosion of land. So you see that happens in front of you as you kind of have this fight. You're like, you hit him as that. It's like that moment, that impact is what makes the ground and ice shoot up as
Oh, that's dope.
as the continent comes into being. And we will. Is Erica okay in the bathroom? She dead? She good? She was gone for so long.
Let me text
It's
her.
okay. I still talk to Ben. Ben. We know Erica's. We know she's in the thing.
Yeah.
Then you are having a simultaneous experience with Sylvie. You know, you left and then Sylvie appeared not with you, but he showed up at the kingdom and was like, hey, I know you, like someone was like, oh, I know the guy who lives here. And you're like, I don't have friends who come visit me. And Sylvie shows up the door and you're like, oh, hey. And you find yourself in a simultaneous political campaign, one that on your end is just slightly a little bit harder. You tidbit have the idea in your brain that you can be the queen of the Fae. And to be clear, to be perfectly clear, that is not what Demina told you. The position that she offered you
It's not what I remember.
was she wanted you to be on the chord of the chord of the acapella that was like this. That's not what it's called. The chord of the chord, whatever the chord was. It was a group that she wanted to no longer be queen, and she wanted a like republic to represent the Kingdom of Harmony. No one knows that except for you. But you do know she wanted a like conglomerate of people to hold that. And you technically do know of some other people who have the Fae's interest in heart. Maybe not the whole party, but you've definitely met some people who are very dedicated to its well-being if you wanted a advisors. Since you want to be queen, you can advisors of some sort to have with you. But while you're thinking about that in this campaign, you're also you're not touching any power. I was about to give you this whole thing. That's crazy. You are on this political campaign trying to convince these people that you should be the next leader of the Kingdom of Harmony. Which was a wild task for Demina, and she did it through hundreds of years of walking around and individually convincing all these people and setting up these laws to this thing. And you're like, I'm with her. And they all do know that. You are attached to the god of the Fae, you are attached to the queen of the Fae, so they are kind of like, yeah, okay. The saving grace you have is Fazan steps in and they offer a vote of confidence for you, much like you did for Sylvie, except they just have a lot of energy. And then when they step up in and say yes, then Halei, the leader of the court of winter, nope, leader of the court of spring, steps up and he gives you a seconded. And you know in your heart of hearts that them two hoes are in cahoots. And you just are aware of that they have vibes with each other, and you are allowed to be put up for nomination for election. And you know, at the end of the week, this will happen. And you also know that you did something to the hag to ensure that everyone knows what's going on. Are there any extra steps you take to, you know, campaign for your position?
Um, I
Who
think
is Tidbit?
Tidbit just sends, like if possible, sends a gift basket to everybody. Little snack basket.
That everyone in the everyone gets one.
It's got a little
Love that.
card, little frog card on it. Just says vote Tidbit.
You start to get these materials that you need, and you know it's going to take you a very long time, or it would take you a very long time if your family from the Silent Garden hadn't come to help you. They all leave the Silent Garden and they come to you, and they just add on to the making of these baskets and the delivery of them, which they all do in silence. No one says anything, but they all just show up. They look at you, and they just kind of know what you need. They see what you're doing, and they just start doing it as well. They're not the people who like ask what you want because they don't talk. They're all about nonverbal communication. But you see them, and you haven't seen any of these people for 9 years. But they come back the moment they know you're back. They come here and they just start helping you as if you had never been gone at all. Some thing that you do notice is you get these maybe like 5 days in to this week of campaigning and doing stuff. You start getting really weird rumors that the Court of Winter has expanded. That
really sounds like it's none of my business. So
how that works between the thing? Okay. But you get rumors that the Court of Winter has expanded, and also you can see it because it is very close to you. It is on the other side of to the north of the Kingdom of Harmony, so you can see this expanse. There's nothing really there, but you know that there's a lot more ice than there was, and also that there are areas of ice that do not house that blizzard you spent 4 years studying.
Actually, I think Tidbit just starts panicking. Like,
oh god, we gotta make more gift baskets. We gotta. If there's more.
Perfect. As you start to prep new new gift baskets for the recipients of the world, we jump over to our friend Desiree. Oh, Miss Almaro, as you leave the Strigonona's cabin, you are sent back to the alleyway. Okay, I'm remembering now. You're back in the alleyway in the Kingdom of Harmony. You are the first to arrive back, but you are sitting in the alleyway. You know that the last time you were here, you were pursuing Orpheus and the Neo-Asgarathis, and now you know the Neo-Asgarathis were actually, I don't know if I ever gave you the name, but they're the Raging Flames, which were the cult that was obsessed with Magnus Flame through proxy of seeing his things. So you kind of have realized, like, oh, the thing that I was doing, I have done, which is great. And you find yourself standing in the Kingdom of Harmony, power brewing inside of you. You have a week of time that you're spending cultivating this power and doing whatever it is that makes Desiree feel like Desiree. What is that thing that you do? How do you spend your next week?
Desiree is making wanted posters with a crudely drawn image of Sylvie on them, and is making several copies of them and hanging them up. And they say wanted and just Sylvie, and it's a very horrible. She's a writer, she's not a drawer. Stick figure like drawing of Sylvie, and it says just alive, not dead or alive, and then has like a contact, like one of those long blurbs about how you can get in contact with her, like you're gonna message her, speak to her telepathically, here's my address, any forms of communication type thing, and she's hanging those up around the square because she has an idea of where she left off, or where Sylvie left off, but Desiree doesn't know where Sylvie might have ended up. So anyone that has any information, and also during this week, on top of doing that, probably looking for some form of transportation, having a good inkling with her high intelligence that she might have a trip to the Court of Winter in her future.
Pinky. And you know the Kingdom of Harmony is not that far. I mean it's just south of the Court of Winter. You know, or during this time, as you're kind of like putting out these flyers, you receive a gift basket for one, from Tidbit. But it's not like addressed to you. It's one of those like to the residents of like in the address that is there. So it's just like and it's like just a message that is there. It is delivered by a grung that is not him. It's like a golden grung who like pops up and just like drop his basket off. And you kind of see that there's like a bunch of them. Like it looks like one of the plagues, and it's like, oh, just frogs are jumping down the street, but they all have baskets on their back and they're just dropping them off, hop, dropping them off. And you just see like waves of frogs hopping down the street. And the second thing you notice is as you're kind of like, people are giving you information. They're coming to you, telling you things about Sylvie, because this is a person that they've seen. They've heard rumors of seeing this person or this figure fighting in the waters or on the waters behind the Kingdom of Harmony. And it's like a tiny figure, often like they're like tiny figure, devils, ice, and so like it's like the keywords that you would know for Sylvie. And the day before you piece all that together is the day that you are slapped in the face with this waft of power. As you feel fire building up inside of you, you feel yourself coming to 100%. You are at full power with your primal soul, and you find that you need to make a choice. And your options are, you can lock the elemental ley line in the Court of Summer, thus keeping it exactly where it is. You know that on the other side of that door, there is no longer a primordial prince. It is now just the elemental plane of fire, and you know that the agent that was sent here to act for that side is also gone. So the door is just kind of like a power switch at this point. So you have the option to lock it and leave it exactly where it is, and use your power to do that. You can use your power to unlock the door, losing your power, but expanding and empowering the Court of Summer in various ways. One of those ways would be physically like expanding its domain. You know that the Fae has been getting smaller over the years, but this is a chance to expand it in that way. And your third option is to continue to be the host of that power until the day you die.
I feel like we all know what Desiree's gonna pick here. Our good old lawful good. She's gonna sacrifice that power to pour into the land around her that once poured into her as a child.
Oh, cute. As you kind of like are sitting there in your rented house, I'm assuming since you don't live in the Kingdom of Harmony, you're sitting there and you have a eureka moment as you put all the clues together that, oh, Sylvie is the one who's outside of the Kingdom of Harmony doing all these things. And in that moment, it's like the light bulb is actually an inferno. It's like as you just get excited and the power just bursts out of you. And you don't feel anything happen in that moment, but in your soul of souls, you know that the Court of Summer is getting hot and it is growing. And you kind of do that as the last night you have, and then you can go and find Sylvie. And I think it's pretty safe to say, outside of our friend Ursine, that everyone has made their way or has a way to get to the Kingdom of Harmony via our good friend Tidbit, because that is where Sylvie is, that is where Tidbit is, that is where Desiree is, and that is where the button on Sharp will take him. And so I flash us there for just a moment as we all reconvene, as four of us reconvene in the Kingdom of Harmony. Quest completed. Power is in none of you, as all of you have opted to put your power elsewhere. And you can kind of see that on each other. And there's just a moment of like, getting the gang back together, but not like having to fight. It's like, oh, we're all actually gathering because, well, today is when Sylvie gets appointed leader of the Court of Summer, and today is when the same day is when Tidbit gets appointed to Queen of the Fae, and keep calling it Queen of the Fae, Queen of the Fae, and Desiree is doing Desiree things, and you all kind of like gather in that moment before anyone can say anything. There's just like a breath of relief as you know that this shit is over. But there's also that inkling in your souls, as two of you know, two courts have grown exponentially, and you don't know what that holds for you. But you stand there in completion as you let that go. Erstein, you're tired. You're having a great day. If you think that you found out or were invited to this coronation, you are absolutely welcome to make your way there. If you don't think so and you're just doing your thing and you're like you just sent a gift, that's also fine. Cross planar.
If I somehow got a, I don't know. I was speaking in Ursine. If I somehow got a basket, then I probably would have. If somehow I could get over there, I would probably at least go there for a second, just to be like, hey, oh, nice.
I think
Bye.
Agba wants you to be there. And so there's a moment where you're like there's a tree you're looking at that like grows a bunch of fruits that remind you of Tidbit for a second, and you kind of like walk up to it as you're like making one of your like just casual walks through the forest. Like I'm taking my breather. You see this and it's like, man, it really reminds me of Tidbit, and you have a crazy sense of deja vu as that tree just kind of doesn't reach out and grab you, but just kind of like moves to and through you as it tree strides you to the Fae, and you are like, and you're standing there, and you're like, oh, as you see your friends all like having this moment, and you're like just slightly aside from it, watching that as you appear, and then they all turn and see you, and they're like, "Grandpa!" But I'm not letting you talk. So, as you all reconvene for court, the double coronation of the Queen of the Fae and the new founding member of the Court of Winter, you are not the only group that is having a meeting here in this moment. So before we leave this stream, I'm going to show you a glimpse of what is happening elsewhere in the Fae as another group of people have a meeting. There is a dark room. It is complete pitch black, and there are moments where it just lights up over and over again. As the camera kind of sits on that, you realize it is like kind of like an alarm blaring, blink, blink, blink. A door is etched into this empty wall or empty room as a figure steps through it. They are hooded. They have robes on them. They're very light and airy, and they just kind of stand there. They walk forward and they place their hand in the center of the room, which makes the light stop. And they kind of look around. They say, "It seems the last steward has fallen. Interesting." And as that last word leaves their mouth, three more doors open as three other individuals step out. One is blue skinned. He's not wearing any hood or anything. He's blue skinned. He's wearing heavy armor. You see he has pointed ears that go straight back. Another one steps out in like leather and medium armor. They have blades strapped all around them. They have red hair that's like almost like a mohawk ponytail. They also have ears that are extremely pointed, but they go directly up. And then a fourth figure steps out. It is another robed figure. It has like a stall over it, so like it kind of hangs down, denoting some sort of rank or something. They wear these heavy dark robes, and they take off their hood as the first one does as well. And we are met with four elves of different styles: a high elf, a sea elf, an astral elf, and a drow. They all stand there. They look at each other. There's a moment of surprise and recognition on their faces as they look out at each other, and they don't recognize each other because none of them are any longer Eladrin as they last saw themselves. They are now these new beings, and they kind of look at each other, and there's a moment of confusion, and then they smile. Well, it seems Accelerando was right. Operation Elf was a success. It's time we take back our home, don't you think? They all nod. The two hooded figures put their hoods back on, and they all walk back through their doors, and the doors, the light shuts off as we fade to black. That's right. I brought the elves back. It took me 5 seasons, but I did it. I did it. Uh, that is me to the world. I'm just letting you all know that I was proud of that moment. I would take a bathroom break right here, but a lot of people have already peed. At least you need a bathroom break.
No, you skip bathroom break. I'm gonna need to pee bad.
Great.
I need a
Yeah,
bathroom break.
okay. So we're gonna take a bathroom break right here. Right here. Right. We are back from the bathroom break, and technically we have wrapped up this season. So we're gonna do a little talk backity, just to chat with the players to see their thoughts, machinations, how things went for them. Some crazy quotes. I know Scott was tracking damage, so I just want to hear. I want to see what these are those numbers. Always some fun stuff. But I will start with Tidbit because I want to hear some quotes. Tidbit, what you got in that book of yours?
Give me a second to compile. They're all spread
Oh, he's
out.
compiling. Okay, we're not gonna start with Tidbit. We're gonna start with.
I got a Tidbit
Scott.
quote.
Oh Lord.
Tidbit said in this campaign, I didn't write it on the episode for some reason, I don't know if I'd go as far as to kill somebody, but make them blind.
Fuck.
That was a
makes
quote
sense.
from Tidbit, who on
Good
break
against
was
the
talking about
bird.
how nasty our quotes were. Well, you're blinding people, sir.
He's like, I won't hurt you, but I will seriously maim you because it's not
Yeah.
killing. Okay, and it's like, because I almost forgot. This is it. Hold on, because Tibbet reminded me, and then I forgot again. But it's right here next to me. This was the house. Featuring chicken legs. Like it's really hot chicken legs.
Oh, that's super cool.
Did
Little
Byron
hack
make that?
You know he did, but this is not for this. But
He's
he
so
did make a hack cut.
impressive.
Yeah.
This is everything he makes is to kill us in his game. So always just be stressed. Just I imagine it with snow on it, but outside of that, yes, it's a hack cut with chicken legs. Thank you, Byron.
All right, I have a Desiree quote.
Oh, hit me.
Oh, okay. Well, I have no choice but to write that down verbatim.
I remember it was like that.
And I did. That was in
Very on
episode
brand.
25 about Tidbit's story. She was talking to Tidbit.
Yes.
It's funny that you wrote that down verbatim.
I did.
Yeah.
So I will ask. Oh, Tibbet's working on something. I can't ask him. So how did everyone feel with this campaign? I know it was a little. That was such a broad question, but this campaign being, in my brain, less combat focused and more you guys having to not just your character, but your player brain have to be like, what is cooking here? How did that feel? Did it feel different? Did it feel the same? Did you hate it? Did you like it? I'm gonna start with Tanner because I'm staring at him.
Okay.
What are your opinions? How'd it feel?
We all know I have them.
Have a stick
I mean, I loved this campaign. It was different taking on just because being used to Scott's battle map thoroughness and really
Don't
having that
compare.
down to I'm not comparing the experiences.
Okay.
They're both wonderful.
Squirrel.
But it was different having to really be more in the mind with it. I think it gave us as a unit some creative freedom to really get wild with some of the shit that we did, because I don't think we would have really done half of the crazy shit if you weren't able to play off each other more openly and less on a map that way. So I like that. I like the roleplay aspect. I felt like I got to really know the different characters. I think it helped me develop my own character a bit more, having to really think about it every fucking episode and be like, okay, Sylvie's definitely gonna do some fuck shit, but then there's 900 other factors compounding in this one decision right now. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed that part of it.
Also, I think I know that Theater of the Mind is my bread and butter as a DM. Andrew and Ben playing my homebrew game where it's just voice. There's no we're not using videos. It's just the things we know in our head. And so I feel like that has helped me because I know that's how I DM, that also informs how I like prep things. I'm always like, oh, I need to explain these things. Particularly for me as an A fan who has no pictures in my head, I know I'm pretty good at like sculpting the image that you guys are crafting, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's there, but if your brain has it there, that means you're interested in it. I can just roll this dice to be like, that is there, yes or no, and I can like figure out some options for that. But because I've done it for so long, it feels a little more comfortable for me. But I also know that like Scott, is this like your first time doing theater of the mind heavy stuff? So I'm gonna switch it over to you. How'd you feel getting into like there's no maps?
In the role play, I mean, love it.
Sorry, disrespect to you. Yeah.
In the role play, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I think in a way you're in probably one of the most visually intense and different areas you could be in like a D&D world. I mean, the Fae is colorful, things are on fire. Randomness is its common thing. So
Mhm.
it would be really hard to plan a lot of maps there too, because things can change. I mean, the battlefield could be moving constantly. So I think it's the wiser way to take this. That being said, in combat, I think this campaign in total, I probably spent at least 7 or 8 minutes just saying, how far are they? Where are they? And that's my
Yeah.
opinion of the only downside of roleplay of the mind. When you have more than 3 things on a battlefield, it becomes really difficult to gauge where you are, and therefore slows down the speed in which someone knows what they're going to do, because I can't plan this until I know for a fact if my spell range is going to hit, when I can look at it before it becomes my turn. But other than
Yeah.
that, I mean, because I think there was only like 3 big fights like that where there was like a lot of things. So I mean, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I like the visual aspect of the Fae, and I thought you did a really good job describing it. And I don't think you need battle maps for that. Also, what you avoid is the hurt of spending a long time on something, and your players naturally go this way, and you can't give any indication you plan Disney World over here, and then you have to throw it away. So, hey, it's the wiser choice.
I find I think for me when it comes to I guess I think Tanner like kind of mentioned this. I think a fear I had, or I guess like the conversation in my brain of like using maps or not. I was worried when I was like, because I knew for this campaign one of the big things that I started with outside of it being a Fey game was like it's gonna be a high level caster game. So I was like giving the requirement to everyone to play a caster was already like a weird rule. So I was like, hey, you just gotta do magic. And then also um for me, I like feel really comfortable doing spellcasting, whether I'm playing or DMing. I'm always like, oh yeah, like I know these spells. Um, but I know that's not really the case for everyone. But also my awareness of those spells. Sometimes I feel like maps when you get to like plus like level 10 and higher combat, where you're like, oh well, technically I can teleport 150 feet away, or my spell can do and like you get into all these like weird things that sometimes I feel like the map limits you. I feel like it's really nice when I'm like a low level character and it's like, ah yes, 30, 60, like these are things I need, but it starts getting into like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like because I'm scared and can. Oh yeah, I wanna teleport. I'm gonna dimension door 500 feet away and also still be in the fight because of whatever because I'm Earth sign and I can shoot 700 feet away. And it's like, oh, yeah, I see that. And I feel like when I have maps, I'm always like when I'm playing on maps, I always want to stay on the map. And I was like, oh, I want people to be like buck wild. And I was like, and I knew that would be like really hard for me and also for players. But I hope that like I've gotten good enough that I'm able to like translate that well because I like the math of it. Sorry, tidbit, but I like the math of it of like I know people's movement speed. I know the range of attacks. I know sometimes the things that you need to know. And I also have no problem answering the questions because I think that helps like players, not necessarily in this game, but like in general, like understand how things work. Because sometimes like, oh, can I do this thing? And it's like, no. And they're like, well, why? And it's like, well, these are all the reasons why. And so when you start asking questions about can I do this stuff, it just gets a little more finite. But I do agree that jumping into like being a high level caster and having no maps is like, hey, let's calm down, Michael. But I think you handled it really well. Particularly as the guy who was like throwing out crazy damage. And I've seen people ask lots of questions, and I'm always confused what those questions are. Your questions were always great. I knew what you wanted to do. I was like, yeah, that works. Like you mapped that out exactly right. Perfect. Like go for it. And so I give you kudos for jumping into the chaos of being a high level caster. I know you're not always doing magic when you're playing, and also you're not always playing. So I appreciate you like taking that risk and doing it particularly when people are watching you. Like, sometimes it's a little uncomfy, but I think everyone did really great. But I know Scott, like, you just like you different because you're our forever DM. So it's like, oh, so a lot of my thing was like, is Scott gonna be okay here? Like a lot of my like little all like my little like jokes and things. I'm like, okay, this is a thing that only Scott will get. Is he laughing? He is. Okay, great. It worked. And so I appreciate you allowing that to happen. So going into like the roleplay aspect of it, how did people feel about carrying secrets? Or like, I know this is a thing that I learned from Scott. Scott is always like, we got to be friends, and I was like, one thing I know is y'all don't got to be friends this time. But also people are often friends. Like there's only been one time in a D&D game where like my party tried to kill me, and I was truly shocked. I was like, what's happening right now? That's the thing you could do in D&D is attack your teammates. That's crazy. But it's never happened. It wasn't Silvernote, but it was with our good friend Rick on my very first day playing. And I was like, it's fine. But outside of that, it's like, there's always like a camaraderie amongst the players. And also I knew all you guys. Like I have the privilege of never DM'd for randoms. I've always DM'd for my friends. And like all of you have been in my game before, except for Scott. So like, again, I was like, I knew a lot of you guys moving into that. But how did it feel like, having to lie and also like having to like know what you have lied about previously? Was that like an extra layer of chaos for anybody? I know Tanner lied a lot, but there were lots of like little things that people were doing. Yeah, you're so right.
I'll say it was hard for me for sure because I built my character inherently around not doing that. And to kind of like say what they were talking about before too and answer that question, like I had decided going into this campaign because I don't play nice characters. If you look at my history, that's just not what I do. And I decided I wanted to switch it up and play a nice character. And then to find out the kind of season we're playing, and I'm like, oh shit, now I'm gonna have to be nice all the time. And finding out I needed to be like a high intelligence and be a spellcaster. I don't do either of those things either. So like going into this, I was super nervous just because of all of that inherently. But I think me and Des, we did a good job together. And I'm also not like I wouldn't say I'm like a bookworm or I have a very bro-y vibe. So playing like a character like that is just not really my personality at all. But it was fun and getting to keep secrets in a weird roundabout way, and also being able to to be approached as the member of the party too, knowing if I know a secret that I can't like lie about it or that I'm like a really bad liar. So you just have to pry it out of me in a certain way. Doesn't really add to the chaos. I feel like if I would have played a character that I usually do play, that this party dynamic would have been a lot more volatile than it normally is. But I feel like Desiree was kind of the piece in this party, and that's why we didn't have more player-on-player violence.
I can agree with that statement. I can agree with that. It was funny watching people gravitate towards Desiree. Specifically me, like, because I knew everyone's secrets coming in. So I was like, I'm interested to know how you're going to play these things. If you're just going to come out and say the thing, like, if you're going to, like, sometimes you just, like, don't have to say the thing because it won't come up. But I'm also me, so I'm like, I'm going to put things out there. I felt so bad for Scott, but I was like, hey, he's doing suspicious things. And I just want people to know that it's suspicious. That's weird. This is weird. But I was like...
Yeah, you're like, how does everyone feel about holding your secrets, Scott? Well, you kind of told everyone mine, so not good until it wasn't.
It was funny because when I came into making this game up and like talking about your characters, the Warforged playing the food folk was such a wild thing because I already had decided that like the way in which they already act to food folk, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna be a Warforged. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I don't know how that's gonna go. He's like, then I'm a Warforged who's playing a food folk, and I was like, oh, now that's interesting because they already have like because the food folk in the material plane act one way, and then the ones in the Fae act a different way. And I was like, and also he wouldn't know that, and you're like playing a food folk. So I was like, oh, this is just like interesting like acting exercise to watch Scott go through. And I was like, I'm not gonna give it to you easy. I want you to be and I told you from the beginning, I was like, it's gonna be like stressy and lie and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, well, if people can have the stats to back it up, then hey, you guys notice that? And just watching some of the rolls happen between like, it's a 14 and a 15. It's like that lie is you believe it. and it's like that's crazy. Like that just worked, or people just not questioning stuff. It was just like fun to digest. But
I think
I did
also
believe
the
for a long time.
dynamic of the party. You
Mhm.
know, eventually I was like, oh, this isn't like this is secret's only a secret because I'm not telling anybody. It's not a secret because anything bad's gonna happen. Like I'm watching demons being summoned by Sylvie over here. So I'm like, they're not like this is nothing inconsequential. And then Tidbit, bless your heart, is not gonna make a decision to do anything. So he's gonna be like, I'm not sure that's a good thing. And I'm like, that's the worst that can happen. And Dez is definitely going to have concerns, and I think if you pushed her far enough, it'd be a problem, but I don't think it's problematic. And I think Urson would have said something about how bad it was and, like, spent a long time thinking, like, what to do about it, but inevitably he's not really going to have a big issue. The worst thing is that I killed a bunch of people to get here, and I'm not like you guys. So my secret kind of changed throughout the game. I think I came in.
The secret was that power belonged to somebody else this whole time. And
Yeah,
you ended up with it.
And
It was
it's also
promised
funny,
to
like,
somebody.
yeah, like the way in which the secrets came out sometimes were so layered that like, oh yeah, that's a secret, but like to me the real secret was that you murdered a bunch of people and stole their spot, and that just like never really like was a thing. The secret that came up was that you're masquerading as a food folk, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting because that's also like an important part, but it's like they just don't know about the other thing. Only you and I know about that, so it's like, oh, okay, great. Well, we just ignore it, and how will it come up? So it was just fun to watch like all those like little weird things, and I just kept bringing them up and back up in different ways for different people because I was like, oh well, you're getting too comfortable. Let me just put some fire in you.
Well, also,
so it was the same way.
I'm a secret holder holding a secret. Like Dez, you're not a secret holder holding a secret, so I imagine it'd be more difficult for you.
I'm just writing it down.
and some of the secrets were also just like different. Like yours was like a personal secret, but then Desiree's was more of a government secret, but also like because you guys didn't know, like it doesn't matter to you. Then like I was like, oh well, it was the layer in which the secrets are really important to the person, but not to the overallness of it. Until it came to like Sylvie's was one that was like, oh well, you guys could turn on her because literally evil, summoning devils, working for a hag, and I was like, oh, like where do you sit? And luckily, Sylvie was just like a charisma build character. So it was like, and I was like, oh yeah.
Your secret was that you were a hag, right?
Yeah.
That was the secret.
One of them.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Oh yeah. and Tanner was scared because I started with Tanner first when I was like building up the campaign, and that was one secret. And then I also kept the Centaur and the primal influencer of Ice thing away from Tanner until he discovered it in game. So I knew I was like, oh, it's gonna be a lot for Tanner, but I knew Tanner's brain could handle it. So the part that he knew was he was a child of a hag, and then I layered in the other two secrets for him to find out in the game because I was like, well, you already knew that. Like, let's make it more difficult.
So when I was acting like Michael was actually breaking my fucking mind, Michael was like breaking my fucking mind because I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean all this stuff, man? Okay, I'll absorb that.
I went through so much effort of like being like, oh, you have a sibling. What's their name? Let's design them. Da, 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 da. Me knowing the whole time they're not real, and I was like, but I cannot if I give any inkling that onto Tanner that this is a thing, he will sniff it out before the game happens, and I can't have that. It has to be on stream. So I was like, I'm about to lie, and I lied for like a year. I was like, oh yeah, that's so crazy. I never mentioned the ice thing. I never mentioned the centaur thing. I was like, I simply cannot mention anything that Tanner does not bring up first. I was like, I see him every damn week, and all we do is talk about D&D, and I was like, oh god. But that was really funny.
Well done, yeah.
Tibbet, did you come in, or Ben, did you come in with the energy of being a pacifist for this campaign?
So definitely came in try to be a good boy pacifist, and that didn't go great. Come to find out, it didn't. I don't think I killed anything.
No, you didn't. The only time I saw you hurt things is when you cast the harm spell. Yeah, the only time you ever hurt anybody was
which
specifically
doesn't
one.
kill.
Yeah,
I tracked a lot of damage just to see like what people were doing. I don't even have a damage written down for you. I only have a max heal of 70 on episode 4 to yourself. That's the stat I have for you.
I was watching because that was the thing I gave to Tanner. I was like, I want you to see. I was like, I don't know how committed Ben is to this thing. So I was like, Tanner, I want you to get him to to hit somebody or like to kill someone, and you stuck to your guns for so long. Tanner, the only time you actually did it was when Tanner got knocked out and then he used the harm spell, and that was the one time he hurt someone, and it specifically didn't kill anybody. And I was like, dang. But also, you are good at playing. Like, I know you're like a good spellcaster and a good D&D player. So like when you were like, I'm gonna be a pacifist, I was like, at least I know you're gonna have a bunch of spells that are gonna be super useful versus the guy who's like, I'm just not gonna cast anything because I don't want to hurt you. And it's like, oh no, he's got all kinds of shit that's gonna make me have to work harder because now there's someone playing defense. And I was like, fuck. And a cleric's a really good character to play defense with. Oh god, they're so annoying.
I also had no secrets coming into this, which was fun to play until you gave me the secret that Olivine was dead, and I said it like 10 minutes later.
And being best friends with a god, that's for sure a secret.
And everyone quickly
That
thinking
was
about where
hard.
they're from in the world, being like, Oline's dead. Okay. All right.
He's like, ah! Also, yeah, I was trying to. That was when I realized what the energy Bim was coming with. I was like, ah, yes, you want to do this thing? He's like, no. And I was like, oh. All right, yeah. And I was like, all of he's dead. He's like, I don't care. And I was like, oh, all right, yeah, okay. Oh,
I mean,
new tactic, new tactic.
Consistent too.
Yeah, I was like,
why would
got
Ben
it,
care?
yeah,
Or Ben's
don't
like,
care.
oh, you're okay, but he died in the okay, then okay. I totally get it.
It's 9 years old.
Your whole life was spent fighting this. No, yeah, it was funny. I was like, I'm here for it. There was lots of like those moments where it was like, where in my brain I could, it could go
Well,
away.
you
but
and
then-
I are lore junkies. They're not like
Yeah, you
us,
have-
Michael. We're like, what about
Listen.
Sanjay? And we're like, ooh. They're like, who?
You're not wrong
No,
there.
no, I'm a lore junkie. I just also like throwing wrenches at fine-tuned
No, yeah,
machinery.
and I will say because when in the character creation of
Me
this,
too.
I talked. I think maybe Scott was the person I talked to the least about it because he knows his world. But everyone else, we had extensive conversations about like these characters, the implications of what that meant. So like he knew who Oliver was. He was just like, I'm not gonna care, and I was like, oh. I think it was that whole episode. It was like, I want to get rid of math, and I was like, what's happening right now? And I was like, what? We're making okay, and I was like, oh, this is the energy. Tidbit speaking in third person. I was like, I didn't expect any of these things to happen. I was like, all right. I was like,
I could not keep that up all season.
I invited an actor and I got it. Okay, and I was like, we're getting choices here. But it was I enjoyed it. It was really funny. Oh, Erica, my question for you. How did it feel bringing your family into this? Because I will say I had no intention of it. There was no family tree going on. That was grandma was always going to be there, but like you visiting, me attacking your whole thing, I was like, well, if we're going there, it's got to be juicy. And so I was like,
I liked all of the lore building that went on there for her and her family tree, and I also like how me as a player it paralleled my life a little bit because I'm an only child, like with a mom and a dad, and a very close knit like family unit too. So as a player, being able to like imagine how you would react if you were like placed in those real life scenarios that like closely mirror helps like affect your decision making and your character building in that way. It makes you feel like you can connect with them, especially in moments like that.
awesome. I had not
I
considered
love
that.
that.
You handled it so well. And that's why I rewarded you with that level up hell early. I was like, oh yeah, if you're gonna bring your family into this, like let's do it. And then I got to, which was one of my favorite combats, which I didn't plan the only big fight that I ran that I didn't plan pre-campaign was that one. But when I found the Princess of Venom squad, and I was like, oh, I want to do like a 1v1v1v1v1. But then I was also like, okay, well that guy's a pacifist, and while I want to make Tidbit throw hands, I cannot force him to throw hands. So to be a 2v2v1v1v1v1. And so, but it was really fun to like watch you commit to that, and also like the choices that happened in there, like with Dad being sick, and then you having to choose between healing him and like being in the fight, and like lots of these like small things that I knew that you would make the character choice, the appropriate character choice. That's also I just know Desiree's gonna, or I know Erica will make a juicy choice. I think that's always a fun thing to do. I knew that I was going to lean on you heavily lore wise because I played with you before, and I know like that you're one of those players who like if I give you this information, you will absorb it. And so I was like, and you end up playing a character who was like that same energy. So I was like, oh yeah, like you want someone who knows about the weird Fae things? It's Erica. And I was like, she will be my lord. I'm like, Erica, you know this. You know this too. And this.
Right.
And this.
Shoot, I got a book on it right here, as a matter of fact. I got it
It was very
annotated,
convenient.
highlighted, everything. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was one of those things where I knew I had to think about when I was like, oh, NPCs, what are those? Like, a lot of the stuff will be learned through either you all or your patrons and their weird like ramblings and the chaos of having to put together all that stuff that they're telling you from and not from your player perspective. It's like there's a lot going on, like a DM talking to you. It's kind of crazy. Oh God, I'm so gassy now. But speaking of crazy patrons in your head, oh, Earthsign, how was that for you? What was that journey like? Getting to dabble with a god you made.
That was a lot of fun. That was really cool, and I really liked the like connection that you made between like all of the characters that I've played as well. That was really cool. I also really enjoyed the like just the relationship that I had with them, where I wasn't necessarily like worshiping them like a traditional god or whatever. It was like I saw it more as like a give and take, like a friendship type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that Agba sort of viewed like that in a similar way as well. Yeah, I thought that was a really cool like dichotomy.
Good. That was something that was really stressful, I guess, because I was taking something that you made that then we like teetered with, but then like you adjusted again. Then we got into the game and was like, well, I really hope he likes this thing that I made for him from this thing that he made. But I also know like when it comes to you, there's like this fun level of if I role play with you, I can learn things. Like there are some people who like when role play happens, it's just like a scene moment. You're just like having a scene. Whenever I'm role playing with Andrew, I know it's like I'm gonna learn stuff about this character, about the world. If I ask the right questions, he will give me these authentic opinions. And so when I was playing the first version of Agba, who was just kind of confused and didn't know anything, there was a lot of I learned so much from you, and she also did, which is kind of how I built that character. But the way in which she was like the softness you bring to like that chaotic situation of like you really should know what's going on in your opinion of her, she should know what's going on, but she did it, and you were like really just okay with that, and like you would helped her through a lot of things, and it's just nice to see that energy in D&D. It's not often people are often like at 100. They're like, I want what I want, and if you can't get it, get the fuck out of my way. And you were like, hey, you good? I was like, who cares about this fucking tree? That's great. I love that because this tree also did care about you, and so then I got to develop. I knew it was gonna be a mother maiden crone kind of a maiden mother crone kind of thing with the blights, and then her weird tree form, and then ending up as this fully realized cognizant person. I just didn't know how that would turn out. I was like, oh, if I had my idea of how Andrew may play Ursine, but then also D&D happens, so it's like if you turn into a crazy person. I watched the other players raise Olivine, so I was like, I had fear in my soul that I was like, if I feel like this god loves you, you're like, well, can I use this god to get what I want? And you were just like, what does this god need from me, and how can I give it to them? And I was like, dang, that's so mature. And that was just like really nice to watch while you were also like ruthlessly slaughtering things in combat with great efficiency. I was like, dang, like role playing and killing things and vanishing. I could never fight you because I was like, oh, the guy who hurt me is not here.
You gave it to me. You gave that to me. I was just utilizing the tools that
The
you
good one.
gave.
I was like, goddamn, Blink. I've never seen Blink work so many times in my life.
It's
But
cool.
that was
Also, I
cool.
definitely I feel like I liked my character more like as time went on than like when I conceptualized or when I like started playing them.
Oh,
Yeah.
know why?
Interesting.
It was just like growth and like and talking and the like having the party and having them influence Ursine and having Agba and having Ursine influence them and them influence him as well and just sort of affect the decisions that he made, like his secret of like being able to talk to them, like he sort of learned partway through that that's a secret. Oops. And so like initially when I started making or when I started the character and I was making decisions, that was one thing, and it was a lot easier to make decisions. And then like this new information just like affected the decisions that I made and the way that I interacted with the world and the party, in ways that I don't think that Ursine would have had he not gained this information. So it was like sometimes he was working like counteractive to like how to his goals, or which was ultimately just like trying to do things easier. So it just complicated. It made the choices more interesting. It was cool.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it made
Anyone
him
else?
more.
Oh, sorry.
No, it just
I
made him
agree.
more.
I agree. I think Ursign is, yeah. I mean, it's those finding those small moments that inform your character, and then being able to play up on them is super. It's a fun way to develop a character. I feel like your characters are always pretty good at that. I'm just gonna assume it's your actor brain that like retains these things. It's a note that I find myself always giving you every time I play with you. I was like, man, this role playing was so good. It was like, so I'm assuming it's like it's an Andrew thing that you've got at this point. It's like, oh yeah, these characters always seem to develop in some fun way that I never know how to expect. Celia was like that, and I was like, oh wow, like I didn't like this is the base, and then some people get really like locked into like playing whatever they created, and it's like they don't allow the world to change them, though a lot of things are happening in the world, and then you're always allowing the world to change you and also changing the world simultaneously. You're really good like relationship with the energy of all that. So I applaud you in that aspect. Um, did anyone else have moments like that? Your character ended up not being what you thought they were on paper when you started playing them, or they molded into something different as you started playing them, or everyone's kind of
Yeah, I definitely like second that one. I mean, in my mind, Sylvie, I wasn't going to be like making friends. I'm like over here like I love Desiree. That's my new bestie. Like we're writing smut. We're taking over the Fae together. And then Tidbit, this little pacifist over here, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with him? We're killing shit. Now I'm over here like talking the bad guy down and like not even like battling with like Flame Boy. I was just like did not see that coming out of my decision making or giving up my fucking power because that's the whole thing I've been after the entire time. So I was just like,
yeah. That was a
these people
that
rubbed off
shocked me.
on me.
I was like, you said I was you gonna give it up. And I was like, wait, huh? I mean, yeah. You're okay. I thought, oh shit. But I love character development. That was a part of me. There's always a part of me with you, Sylvie, that was like, I don't know if you will end up being pro hag or anti hag because it can go either way, depending on how much power you get to gain from it, how much you have to lose. And I was like, so watching that battle inside of you of being like, I don't like this hag lady, but she has not given me what I wanted. And those who are nice have not given me anything. And then once you got power of your own, you're like, oh, well, now I get to have a say in it. And you're like, oh. And luckily, you had some people who were more calm or at least
Good
different in their
influences.
chaos. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. And so that
I
was fun
tried.
to watch. I was. It was
Definitely
pretty
Sharp.
the Sleep Watcher.
Sharp's my chaos buddy.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh,
you want to do bad
every
shit? Let's
time.
do it.
Let's
I
do
got
bad
together and I
shit.
was like, oh lord. Yeah, the Tanner and Scott working together is the combo I didn't expect to happen. And I was like, those energies need to stay separate. Okay, like let's keep those guys. That's crazy. But that was also funny. I got a question for Scott. When did you decide that you did not fuck with Prime Ultimatus? Was that an early on decision for you? Because I know, I guess I asked because when we were like building characters, it was like, oh yeah, this is like my patron or like my patron kind of guy, that's who I work for. And then we got into the game, and he was like, yo, fuck that guy. And I was like, whoa, we're not friends? We're not cool like that? And he's like, no, we've never been cool. And I was like, dang.
I didn't know it was
I'm
that
heated.
strong. I knew that Sharp was, I mean, because he is chaotic evil.
Mhm.
So he's going to do bad shit when he feels like it. And I knew that, because I knew my backstory was going to be really troubled and insecure at the very start of birth. And then having to do terrible things. And then being mad and holding this grudge and wanting to prove yourself your entire life. And so that I knew coming in. But I can't just
Mhm.
play that because I live a whole life in that time. And realistically, in that time, you develop another life which helps mask and diminish the pain. So you're not a
Mhm.
2D character that's just going, I've been pissed for 30 years and I'll get my revenge and I have just as much oomph as day one. It's just not possible. So I had to slowly be okay with actually the life that I had built, which I thought was the side life to mask the pain, is actually now the thing that's more comforting because I'm living it, so I don't need this. And so I think that's why around like episode, I don't know, 28 or something like that, it was just like going through this existential crisis of, oh my god, I got what I want, yay, they are awesome, to, oh my god, they're freaking sick. And then that just kind of broke sharp. It was just like, whatever, okay, I'll be nice if I have to be nice because you guys are great, and I'm gonna be honest, I dated a pickle, and it was just like, whatever. And so I think that's why I chose to be with Tidbit whenever I can. Is just like, I don't know, I don't really love DeFay, but when I'm around him, I can just like be myself. And this grudge I gotta let go, even though
I think
should.
that's
So
that
I
was a
don't
fun
know.
thing to watch. Yeah, there was like a lot of like you had that angry.
It's not
Jersey
sexual.
in
Neither
you.
one. I have no
No,
reproductive organs.
Neither does Tidbit.
I can get either of them.
Yeah, he has all of them actually.
Neither do the Warforges, but wait for next season.
I was
I-
literally a reproductiveless race pretending to be another reproductiveless race who loves a reproductiveless race.
Yeah, I thought the bromance was great. I thought it helped. I
wouldn't say it was bromance. I think it was literally just me towards him.
Y'all wouldn't say it.
No,
I think you let him affect you, and that was. I
Yeah.
feel like, or I guess like the energy that Sharp came in with was like, anyway, from Jersey. It was often you get like that you just wouldn't listen to people, but because everyone was okay listening to you, you like, and I feel like it softened you up because you were like, you could be mean, but no one was like mad at you for being mean. They're just like, okay, yeah, that's just how he acts. Okay, whatever. You were like, I'm not a cheese, I'm a machine. They're like, okay, thanks for telling us your truth. So, anyways, you're like, wait, no one cares? Like, I thought it was and you're like,
and I can't
"Thanks,
leave,
sir."
and I'm stuck here, and I have to hold the shtick forever. No, thank you.
And they're like, we believe in you, and it's okay. You watch me sleep. That's not weird. That's fine. And it was like, oh, you guys are just really okay with everything that I do. And
Yeah, that was always one of the ones that I was like, we're just okay with this.
That was my favorite
The
choice
Ray
I
was
made
like,
in this entire
"Fine."
campaign, to watch people in their sleep. And I know it's creepy, and I don't give a shit what y'all think out there. I loved it. I was like, this is logical.
We tied it in. We
Yeah,
tied it
no,
in.
it made sense. Yeah.
It was logical.
That was a good one. I think that was those little moments like that are what can make so many fun things. And it's something that we like. I had to think about. I was like, he can't fall asleep, so I can't. I gotta make sure he's doing something, or if he wants to do something, he can.
Speaking of decisions and then growing them, okay, Ursine. The whole don't tell Tidbit that I also am being influenced by a god because they don't like that. I said it to him like 3 times and he still didn't hear it, I don't believe. And it never like exploded or anything. Did we resolve this?
I know. No, I don't think we did at all. I don't think we did at
There
all.
was no solution to that one.
I think
Yeah.
that
I think the
bothered
solution was
me
let
the
it be.
most.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of those like red herring secrets because it was blown up to be I blew it up to be a big thing, also knowing that it wasn't a big thing, but I wanted to watch everyone be stressed about it. And so watching, because it's a very like, just to explain that, it's a Summer Song thing. Like when Summer Song became a god, he was just like, I don't fuck with gods and I don't want them to be here. But also Summer Song, narratively, the character that me and Scott used for lots of things, he did bring Agua into this world. So it's like, oh well, I broke my own rule, so now it's kind of weird, but also that's like, I like Agba. Like as Summer Song, he's like, she's not, there are some crazy gods out here, and he's like, she's cool, she's just being chill. I'm just like, hey, don't break the rules, because if you do, it will come back on me because I'm the guy who made the rule. Also that I'm breaking, but he made a loophole for his, and she didn't. But it was never really like a big thing outside of like Agba thought it was a big thing, but because Summer Song never like heard about it, it didn't come up. If Agba had told Ursine told Tidbit, and Tidbit told Summer Song, didn't like whatever. But it just never got that far because Ursine was just so stressed about it. So it was just fun watching Andrew play that, because I was like, he's been stressed about it for so long, and watching Sharp be like, it's not a big deal, and he's like, no, but it is. It's
Yeah.
not, it is. And I was like,
It's really fun. Ursine, the guy who can like dome a caterpillar from 400 meters away, scared of a pacifist. I just thought that was funny.
That is pretty
It's
funny.
like, I would have heard. It was
Because
was funny.
Tidbit has a magnetism to
Mhm.
him.
It's got that
True.
wrist.
It's like you can't explain it. It's just like a confused power. It's like moving forward, but in a direction with their eyes closed. You're like, somehow you've made it, and you still do it, and you're like, it's like when an explosion goes off, and they're just like 1 foot. You're like Mr. Magoo. Is that old reference? Is that a GAC reference? You said Spy
Yes.
Kids.
That is not a okay. You
Spy
know
Kids is 2001. GAC is 1992. Okay, it is.
Never mind.
years between that, and they still make Spy Kids.
Oh,
Okay,
I forgot we're streaming still.
fact check us.
I have a few quotes here.
Quote it.
Oh yeah.
From Desiree. I got two for most. Desiree. Oh, it's nothing really crazy. It's just bound forever to my soul.
Your voice too.
And then also,
I know I'm here for it.
let's move the possibility of killing to, I don't know, maybe Plan B.
It's that pause on the I don't know. Really
Like,
gets it.
He's a lot.
It's like not to crush anybody's dreams or spirits here, but maybe.
but-
You're just so like cautious and reserved with everybody's feelings. It's amazing.
Always.
There's a moment where Ogbo is offering up a boon to Ursine and said, "A boon for you, any boon, no smitings." No smitings? Never mind. And then I also had one from Ursine that says, "I don't think I should lie to a god. Maybe. Not sure, actually."
Definitely gonna lie to a god.
Nothing. That's total retirement vibes. That quote. Whatever.
Sylvie, I don't have any context for this.
Oh god.
It just says, "I'm a floater, you see."
Perfect.
Oh, I think that was when I was talking about how I couldn't be taken down. And I was like, I'm a floater.
Just a little
Maybe.
turd in the toilet. It's a little.
Yeah, it's definitely a turd reference.
Okay.
I'm the shit.
And then Sylvie, you also have, "Come on, pussy, just double fist it, grab it hard."
Oh my god, what is that in
That is
context?
a Tanner
too?
quote if I've heard one.
Even know what. I feel like Tanner gets in fights and just starts saying things. He's like a gamer. He's like, I'm just gonna start giving you crazy sexual like mean things. I'm like, what, Tanner? What? And he's like, I don't know. I just said it. And
I don't know, it just comes out of me.
Exact sentence heard in a
It's
COD
another
lobby.
one.
I just want to say,
Comes out
it
of
was
me.
you and Erica immediately, anytime Warhols was mentioned, it was not brought in as anything other than what it is. That face right there.
I don't know about that. I don't
Really?
know about that.
You say Warhol, I'll be you at the first episode it happened.
Warhol.
I was
Because
like,
we know. Desiree and I know.
there are many times that I was having scenes with Scott or Andrew, and I was like, I cannot look at Tanner,
Right.
or I can't look at Erica because they're gonna make a face and I'm gonna laugh, and I'm like, nope, let me just stay. I'm gonna stare at blankness and do this monologue. Like, I'll crack up. Oh,
Sharp, you have, "I can spit on you. Can I spit? Do I have spit?" And I also wrote down, "Immediately after Sharp realized for the first time that he likes his team. Oh my god, I'm gonna oil up now."
Tanner, give the look.
oh, I love it. All right.
I think we know.
I don't even know. Like, how is that not weird? Like, I'm trying to think of a logical Scott reason of like, no, I needed to oil, but I don't know.
I want to say it's a reference to crying.
Oh!
Like you don't-
Oiled up.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
you're
gonna oil up now. Gotcha.
Okay, thank you for that. I was like,
Yeah,
I
I was
don't
like,
know.
what
I
are we
was
doing?
like, I'm just seeing him rubbing oil on himself, and I was like, I don't know.
This is
Like,
a
that
really-
also made sense for him, you know?
Yeah. Gonna oil up now.
Roll
This is
away.
a really old quote from Michael, but I think it just sums things up pretty well.
No, not me.
They talk about your holes. They talk about tasting you. That's friendship.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. That's something that I would say for sure.
It's
I
recorded.
don't think that was I don't know if that was in a character. That was just me giving
Lack
some
of
input.
I think that might have just been you.
Yeah.
There's a whole
I
arc
would
where
say.
Desiree wanted to eat Sharp in the very beginning. So.
That was
It was
that
more
was
Des.
a couple episodes. It was like, let's taste them, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, it's gonna be a whole thing.
We had a whole thing about licking Tidbit and eating Sharp.
And that's before you guys knew I was a robot inside of wax. So I was like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
really
Yeah.
don't want this.
And all of
Living
his holes
flavorless.
that he had.
Oh,
Oh no, I guess
Well,
the cheese
Tidbit
was
wanted to
holy.
eat you more after you weren't cheese.
That is true. I remember you saying that.
That came
Out of
up.
curiosity, though.
Yeah.
Completely
New
natural.
flavors.
Yeah.
Metal.
Any more quotes from the gang?
I got one
Yeah.
for Sylvie.
Oh.
It says, "You were chosen by God. Sometimes I'm a God who chooses." I love it.
remember
Also
that.
on
I remember
brand.
that energy. It was-
I do remember
The
that.
height of hubris.
I
There was
love
those
it.
15 episodes where Tanner was just like, "Oh, you're God chosen? Aren't we all God chosen?" That was when Tibbet freaked
That
out
was a
that first
tidbit.
time.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was in conversation with Tidbit that I said.
I was like, okay, bringing it out of them. I love it. Yeah, there was a lot of like funny character moments that happened in just like such random ways that I really enjoyed. Watching your characters grow, watching them like go from on paper concepts from like months before this campaign started, we were like talking about all these secrets and building characters and classes and how they all affect. It was fun watching those like play out. It was like I was watching a TV show. I was like, everybody be like, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. Let's see what's gonna happen here. I'm like, I'm gonna throw some shit in here because I want to stir the pot. And I'm like, oh, how's Scott gonna handle this? He's gonna be stressed that I'm throwing in the fire. Great. Or how's Tanner gonna deflect this? I'm like, ooh, okay. And it's always just fun to watch you guys like do it. And that was always my fun. Like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, the characters are here, yeah. But I'm like watching the players like react to the things that I'm throwing at them, and that's what I'm living off of. And I'm like, this is so fun. I hope everyone's having a great time. And so it was it was fun watching that like just matter to you all. Like it was just fun watching it all come together in a way that I didn't expect because you guys are all so different and unique, and that brought you together in a fun way because sometimes when everyone's like just being nice, you don't say the mean cunty thing. And I think we kind of like opened that door last season with Princess of Power. We're like, we're all friendly sisters, and we're like, you fucking bitch. And I was like, wow, we're really cutthroat for like family of friends. And now it's like, now we're all individuals, and also we're still working together because we've all been brought to this thing. And it's like, oh, now we really don't have to be nice, but also there's no reason to be mean. So everyone got to be themselves. And I was like responded to well, and also in just such like various ways. So I helped make characters in such opposite ways so we could have things to talk about, like the machine.
Just
And
want to say
also
I was
Druid.
not acting as myself. I am not that asshole.
What? That's what you think? No, I'm just
Surprise,
when you want to
surprise.
go, you're ready. Like, can we leave? Are
Let
we
me
gone?
clarify. When I am ready, I am much meaner than Char.
Shit.
I was playing nice actually, but it was fun watching you guys all respond to those things organically and in character. So it was just fun to watch Sylvie and Tidbit and Erica and Desiree and Sharp / No and Ursine just like as these concepts and as they grew and how they interacted. And it was just really fun to pit you against each other in weird different ways, because I was also like curious how that would work when like, oh yeah, we're a party of 5 walking through the woods. How are we gonna have separate conversations like this? The two of us talk over here, and it was like, oh great, like, and people allow that to happen, and you get to have these these fun moments that bring nuance to this, and like watching Sharp go from like being in 4 conversations, like, oh yeah, I was just talking to so about this. He's like, well now I'm over here. Hey, this stuff. And I was like, look at this, bringing information across the channels, which was a big part of this campaign. And I was like, I need you guys to talk to each other about the stuff that I'm telling you, because it won't make sense unless you all talk to each other about it to figure out what's real and what's not. And you guys handled that very well. Thank you for being smart. I was stressed. I was worried. I was like, oh god. But I think everyone had the good things. The stats were great, and so I could abuse those. I'm like, yeah, just roll what you're good at. It's gonna work out pretty well. Trying to get Tanner to fail a save was the death of me, but like outside of that, it was a
Tanner
great time.
rolls well. That's
You got
just
me
what
a
he's
few
known for.
times.
He's a witch. He's a witch. Oh, Tanner, how did you enjoy playing weird class subclass?
Oh
was that?
yeah, the Weaver class. I'm like, I want to take it into like other games. I'm like, it's honestly a really, really fun class. Like
Awesome.
you did a good job at like leveling it and like not feeling, because like I don't have spell slots, which was like weird because I'm used to playing a caster and like having that, and I'm like, oh, I gotta like do cantrips to charge up my casting charges and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh wait, but I'm melee, I'm tanking, which is also a bit different for me, but I love that class. I'm like, another opportunity to play it down the road if that arises, I would jump on it. It's a fun one.
Awesome. I feel like it sat well into your charisma and also your love for bloodshed. So
Yeah.
you being the guy running in front and being like, I'll fight him. I'm 5 foot. I don't care. Or 4'5". I don't fucking care. Like I'm just gonna hit him with my mace. And I was like, you're so tiny, but also so mighty. That's crazy. So I'm glad that it was fun. I was building classes is always like, will this work out? What's going on here? Then also playing it at level 13. It's like, okay, now it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, does it work? Because now we're not building up. It's like you can do all the stuff already. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no,
I
it
think
had
you
good
handled
flow
it.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you handled it really well, and I applaud you. Yeah, moving out of for the girlies who don't know, he didn't have spell slots. He had charges that I made up, so it was like based around this like building up energy. And so he just had to not cast spells to cast bigger spells. And so it was fun to watch you do that, and like how it affected. Like I knew it affected you because you couldn't cast spells you wanted to. You had to build up to them. So you're like, fuck, I guess I'll try to cantrip. But now immolation, and it's like,
Now
oh
we're
shit.
there.
And so it was fun to watch. You also like do the anime thing where like you like to do banter in combat, which I love cunty banter in combat.
So
even
anime.
even when you start yelling out random things and it's like, okay, what's that about? We're like, yes, but watching you like build that up was funny because it also was reflected in your character, and so I was like, okay, that was a fun parallel to get to experience. So snaps to you. I don't have any like other big questions for anybody or statements. If anyone has any questions for me, I'll take them now. If there's anything that was like, Michael, what the fuck was that? They never got any resolution because some things we didn't actually resolve. But some things are just red herrings. But if there are any moments like that you want me to offer any insight into, I'm happy to. But outside of that, you were all fucking great.
I don't need
And
insight.
You
I
were
need to
great.
say that you're a bitch for killing my mom off screen.
Mm.
Yeah, you
one
should have
thing
done it on screen.
one
Yeah,
thing
I
I
should have
did
done it
know.
right in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, when I was planning this campaign, I was like, I want it to be chaotic, and I was like, the best way is to lead by example. And Scott knows I love me some Demina Summer. Like I love me some Demina. I've been talking about that bitch since I was playing Summer Song, and I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, she was gonna be a character I played in this campaign, but then I was like, oh DM, so I was like, well, if we're gonna be in the Fae, I gotta take some losses here. So I was like, before the campaign started, I was like, she dying. I was like, she's got to go. I was like, I want a peaceful world, and I want them to know that this is just the beginning of the chaos. That's why I brought in the elves at the end. I was like, this is all happening, and we may not come to the Fae again for multiple seasons, but shit gonna be happening over here, and y'all the reasons for it. So when the courts were getting bigger, y'all did that. When Scott making new maps, y'all did that. So it's like I wanted to have a jumping off point because that was a really chaotic part of planning this campaign was we have not been in the Fae before, and so I was like, oh, I need to. Well, we've talked about it so often, so I was like, I need to cover that, and then the time in between that because we jumped all these years, and then also like this new era because that's where the lore I'm like using comes up. So, but also I need to honor the things in Silvernail because it has existed previously, and I love Silvernail lore. So I'm always like, okay, great. So what does this mean? So how does that work? And so I just took a lot of my inspiration from Silvernail, like from the material plane rather. And so I just built off of that, and it kind of like worked out pretty well. I already had a map when we started of the Fae, and Scott was like, "This is it. Don't know what half of it is, but like have fun." And I was like, "Okay, great." And then we had that, and then we like we started deleting things off of it because we moved it, Incantica happened. So like we started deleting parts of the map, and then it was like, oh, well, time has moved on. So what would this look like? So there's new maps, and it was like, no one's seen the first map, and we're like, well, we have, so we got to change it. And so it's fun being able to like create on that level. I guess only with Scott, because only me and Scott really know like what was happening on those weird like brick by brick level foundationally for shit that happened 1,000 years ago in the campaign that we're like, hey, can't forget that, can we? And so
We
it's
got
fun
a Google sheet with the entire timeline if you want to see it. So that there's
It's
Oh
no
my god.
discrepancy.
Yeah.
We're like, no, look at this line.
Look at this
It happened
sheet.
in 253.
Yeah, and so it's fun to be able to be able to create like that as an artist, as a creator, even outside of D&D, like being able to create on that like molecular level is super fun. I think that's something that I will always credit Silverno for. That no other game that I know of currently works like. You don't play a campaign for a season and then the things that happen in that season affect the next campaign because the world is the same, and so it's continuing on. And I think that makes you like role play or at least makes me role play in a new way, because it's like, oh, like what could happen, and then me saying that, it's like, well, I got Summer Song, so like my first character became a god, and I was like, my villain who lost got a whole ass land of this, and it's like Scott has gifted me with the Fae, and I'm like,
Ben's first
all these
campaign, and he's the queen.
Ben's the
Right?
queen now. I told you, Melody told you would end with power, and here it is.
Yeah.
I alluded to it all, and I knew in my heart of hearts that Ben was not gonna kill that person. So I was like, all right, Scott's gonna be the wind one, and I hope he's likes everybody by that point, or he's gonna be a great cult leader. Who knows?
I'm just glad like the whole like branding of it works. Like you're a little frog in the Fae who's the queen. Like that's good brand. Like if you were
is
a
good
robot
brand.
doing it, I'm like, no guys, you're mixing genres. Stop.
Mhm.
It's easier to sell as a package. It's a frog. So I'm like, whew, that's good.
So I told Michael in bathroom break that I wanted to say on stream that my headcanon is Tidbit dies the day after he's appointed queen.
He did tell me that. He's like, I'm so old. I'm just like, like, thank you.
All right, never mind.
No, I just want to let you know
Someone
I've
could
had
say
a will
croaked.
written for
Oh.
David.
Stop. Get out of here. You're fired.
Had a will written for half a season, and when Scott got a button to teleport to Tidbit, I was like, I'm not gonna say this during the campaign.
He did send me a will. I do have a will from Tidbit.
Doesn't
Great.
even like it if it's not going to be used.
Really? Because it seems like a
it-
great, like, smut mystery ending. He teleported back. The frog was no more.
What did they do?
He
Yeah,
searched
kinda
for all
does.
his years to fix the thing he thought was broken, not knowing that he had passed.
Listen, Sharp is the scarecrow to Tidbit's Dorothy. I'll miss you most of all, because the only person who is mentioned by name in that thing is Sharp. When he wrote, he's crossed out the other people. It used to be his party members. Oh, I think also Sylvie's in there, but it's like, is
I'd
it also
written a
yeah?
thing
But
where
don't give to Sylvie. So like, you're in there in a negative.
That's
And I'm like,
right.
that's hilarious.
Mm.
But
This has been fun. This is good. Thank
It
you so
has
much for
been.
everything, Michael.
thank
Yes.
you all
Thank you
for
so
playing.
much.
Thank you for joining into the chaos. Thank you, Scott, for running Silverno and allowing me
Yeah,
to
Silverno.
I haven't done it
run
for a year and a half.
this this campaign. Yeah, shake off them gears, girl, because we coming back end of January, ladies and gentlemen. End of January, you will see Scott sweating again for years, because we about to give him the hands. It's about to get hot in here. This was calm. We are ready. Ready.
We shall see.
But that is all for us, my friends. We are out of here, and we will be back the end of January, the last Wednesday of January. So come back, join us. We'll be robots. We'll be all new people,
And a tiefling.
same people
And a
playing new
plasmoid.
characters. Weird shit's
A
happening.
plasmoid.
Weird shit's happening. Oh yes, there's also. Have we seen a plasmoid in Silver?
No, it's the first plasmoid ever. It was the first Grog, the first
Oh.
plasmoid. I love this trend.
Love it. New things.
Yeah.
Okay, so we come back. We're taking a break, y'all. It is fun playing D&D, but sometimes it's tiring. Defending yourself every week. It's like, stop. So we're gonna take some time. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna come back and be even more chaotic next time. So until then, stay safe, stay beautiful, stay happy. Bye. Let's get out of here, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.